You'd say he hung the moon, I'd say he hung the galaxy. Nobody does it better, all the way he pulls me in. I've known a couple bad ones, but they all let me to him. He's one of the good ones. Love me like he should, one, like he wrote the book, one. The kind you find when you don't even love one. Anybody can be good ones, but he's good all the time. He's one of the good ones, and he's on mine. He's one of the good ones. We should all find us one. They're out there, minus one. Some of the good ones. Yeah, I got a good one. Love me like he should, one, like he wrote the book, one. The kind you find when you don't even look. Anybody can be good ones, but he's good all the time. He's one of the good ones, and he's on mine. He's one of the good ones, and he's on mine.
And now your Kissin' 99.3 news headlines from
Columbus. The Sports Visions Morning Show, weekday morning 6 to 9 on Sports Visions 92.1. You are listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show, brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. Here's DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer.
Good Monday morning and welcome everybody to another edition of the Sports Visions Morning Show. I am Walter and Betty Jones's baby boy, Daryl DJ Jones. We call him the Swiss Army knife, and we better known as Richie Rich. Richard Holdridge, good morning. How are you, sir?
What's going on, DJ?
Cut your microphone on, sir.
What's going on, DJ? Great to be here on this Monday, ready to talk about the weekend.
Ready to talk about the weekend, but before the weekend, let me do this. Let me stand up and salute all of the folks that were able to come out and experience on last Thursday, Sportsvisions' 18th annual high school football awards luncheon presented by Aflac. My entire Sportsvisions sports luncheon team. Again, incredible job, of course, starting with, you, Richard, and Thrift Behringer, Danita, did a great job as the mistress of ceremony. Of course, DJ Cashflow did his thing. Maria Verdell and Tony Parkman, they were the songbirds singing Christmas carols, set the mood in the room. It took us to another level. It was almost a Las Vegas type atmosphere with the vocals and all of the music, all of the energy in the room. I had a damn good time. How about you?
Oh, it was an incredible time. The atmosphere, it was great just to be a part of another Sports Visions Football Awards luncheon. The food was great. I loved it when they were singing Christmas carols. I loved the message from Courtney Morgan, and got to shake his hand and just see that, I know that the players and the coaches were really excited, that Courtney was there, and just that positive message, and just the awards and everybody getting the awards, and it was just an awesome feeling and just a great time.
Another more members of that team that made that day possible. Kareem Moore, who was actually my producer for the day. Of course, he had the cameras. St. Luke is set up where you got multiple cameras and multiple shots, and you just basically need someone to switch the shots. And Kareem has been with me for quite some time, actually since nearly the beginning. And again, he did a great job. Lisa Marie, the event coordinator for St. Luke, she and the staff down there, man, the chefs, they need to kiss the chef for us because the food was fantastic. The
Mhm.
service was outstanding. And, again, it was just a wonderful time. My beautiful wife, I cannot, cannot forget about her and all the wonderful things that she was able to, the nugget she was able to share with me, during, before, and after the program. And I appreciate her. And again, our Community Service Award winner, her name is Mrs. Angela Strange, and she has been with me since 2015, and she has been special. And I thought it was just only, it was just only proper for us to recognize her. But Richard, I tell you what, before we get into the nuts and bolts and the heavy lifting of that wonderful day, I want to say hello and good morning to everybody out there in Facebook land. We appreciate the fact that you allow us to help you get your day started. Also, the folks out there that are with us on YouTube. We know that you could be anywhere else in the world, but you decided to share your morning with us, and we certainly appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm just glad for our audience. I know we're getting ready for the Christmas break. Kids are going to be getting out of school this week, but we appreciate you listening to us in the car, whether you're going into work or whether you're going on base at Fort Benning or just taking the kids to school. And I'm just excited that we have local sports talk radio 5 days a week. And DJ, we're approaching our 1-year anniversary.
Absolutely.
It's coming up.
It's coming up, man. It's coming up quicker and, it's sooner than later. But also, I want to make sure that all of our friends out there in WLTC HD2 Sports Visions 921 land know that we love you, but it ain't a damn thing you can do about it.
Hello, somebody.
Richard, let's get this party started. Can we?
Yes.
Hey, look, man, first, again, so many thank yous and so many, congratulations to go out. We'll have an opportunity to recap all of the wonderful awardees and honorees on Thursday, but also my community partners, man. I couldn't have done it without them. It's a small group, but I tell you what, we're effective. I mean, and again, it's an opportunity that some of them have been with us for all 21 years, Richard. I made mention to that at the luncheon. We're blessed. We are blessed. And when God has his hands on something, it's hard to stop it. And when the purpose is pure and is good, and you're helping people as we are these young student athletes, that's why we're able to put up numbers, be 18 years for a sports luncheon. I mean, again, as I mentioned during the ceremony, you got some companies, you got organizations, you got, they don't stay open 8 years, much less 18 months, much less 18 years. But he's given us the opportunities to bless so many people. And I just thank God for Dale and all the things that we were able to be exposed to as we were growing up, to see and be a part of so many wonderful experiences. And all of that is what you see in our awards luncheon. And again, it's a production. It's not just a event, again, with the singing and, you have to definitely stack the show if, properly, of course, to coordinate the amount of awards and trophies. And it's a lot of moving parts, Richard.
Yeah. 18 years, and you've had 18 years of incredible student athletes that walked that stage and got the awards. And, they're going to remember that for the rest of their lives. And it's because we have shined the light on these student athletes who are so talented in this community, and they're well-deserved. And we keep this thing going. I'm just so privileged I get to be a part of it. And, we talk high school football all season long. It's a great event to put a bow on the season. But DJ, we're not done yet, but we do have some more teams. But it was just a great, successful event overall.
Absolutely. Good morning, Ricky Rogers. He says that let's attack this week like we do the Christmas morning breakfast. Hey, we appreciate you, Ricky. And, of course, everybody that's joining us this morning. But you know what? You made mention of something that we need to go ahead and get out there in the atmosphere right now. We're not done yet. Obviously, the luncheon on Thursday, had we honored the people who up to this point but we still have some games that are, we got to go to the bins, and a couple of teams will actually start this morning. I know that Harris County will be playing flag football against Washington County at 11 a.m. And they could very well bring home a state championship. But guess what? I got to go back to the trophy shop and get them and make it, as we always do. Whether unfortunately they were not able to be, that decision was not decided up until this point. But other teams, Richard, and I want you to go through that schedule as we do have other state championships, and we're getting ready to head to the bins.
Absolutely, DJ. For the next 3 days, we have high school football state championships in the GHSA for flag football in all classifications. And Harris County starts it off 11 o'clock this morning at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, taking on Washington County out of Sandersonville. And then we got that's for Division I flag football. For Division II, we've got Jenkins out of Savannah taking on Greenbrier. That's going to be at 1 o'clock. And then we've got the classifications starting with Bowden. Bowden taking on Lincoln County. Bowden trying to go for that 4-peat, DJ. Caden Protho is one of the top recruited players that Bowden has. And then the 7 o'clock game. So that's at 3:30. That's the Class 1A Division II championship. At 7 o'clock, the 4A championship. Creekside taking on Benedictine. You remember that school that Carver played in the state championship back in 2021? Well, they are an all-boys military private school out of Savannah, and they have won several state championships.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Hey, look, man, we got to galvanize the crowd. I know that there's a boatload of folks that are up in Atlanta getting ready to go to Atlanta or are either on the road to Atlanta for this 11 o'clock game between Harris County and Washington County. And, from what you've seen, did you have an opportunity to really scout the Harris County team?
I have. They have a great quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in our area, Cricket Colley. She's got a great wide receiver, Pearson Pettit. I remember them last year. Harris County fell short to Southeast Bullock. They ended up winning the state championship for Division I. But Harris County, I feel that they have got a team that they had just been rolling through their schedule. They did beat a very good Fitzgerald team and beat Gainesville in the quarters and the semis last week. And they're taking on this Washington County team, which I saw them in action. And they have just an incredible offense. They were able to beat Columbus. I know we were hoping for that Columbus-Harris County championship, but Washington County, who went to the quarters last year, I've seen them a couple times. They're going to give Harris County all they can handle. I think it's going to be a great flag football matchup.
Got a tremendous lineup this morning. Of course, Tim Turner will join us at about 6:30, maybe a little bit before that. He is our HBCU insider and a whole lot more. But the Celebration Bowl, we have a new champion of historically black colleges. And again, Tim will be able to talk about that. We'll chop it up and let you know, because it was have you ever seen a 4 overtime championship game?
one of the most exciting Celebration Bowls in history. I mean, South Carolina State getting it done over Prairie View.
Absolutely. And looking forward to chopping it up with Tim regarding that. And again, Thrift Behringer will actually be he's on assignment, and we'll have an opportunity to get him on the show and talk about all the things that's going on, because he is headed to Atlanta this morning.
Right.
They are actually going to be on assignment there, but we'll hear from Thrift. Also, we'll hear from longtime sports writer and sports journalist Nubyjas Wilborn. And, talking to Nubyjas, he has a personality of, he just love everything, his opinions and his ideas and his takes on all things sports. And more importantly, Sharon Moore, where everybody, everybody's buzzing because it's unbelievable how, again, a young coach can get an opportunity, but he can dwindle it and let it go through his fingers by making not smart decisions, if you will. But Nubyjas has an interesting take. We'll hear from him and a whole lot more. And also, we have the possibility of hearing from Tony Reese today. He's sports director from WTVM. And we look forward to talking to Tony as well. But I know what let's do this. Let's go ahead and let's take our first break. When we come back, we'll introduce you to every MVP, offensive and defensive, from every school in our viewing and listening area, because they were honored and celebrated on Thursday at Sportsvisions' 18th annual High School Football Awards Luncheon presented by Aflac. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you're listening to WLTC HD2 Sportsvisions 921. This is the Sportsvisions Morning Show.
You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1.
Good morning. I'm Olivia Yepes. Here are your top headlines for this morning. 2 students were killed and 9 others injured in a shooting at Brown University on Saturday. Rhode Island authorities say they are releasing the person of interest they detained from the shooting. 48-year-old Jonathan Demetrius Powell died in a single-vehicle accident on Manchester Expressway near J.R. Allen Parkway Saturday night. Columbus police say the investigation is still ongoing. And jury deliberations are expected to resume today in the trial of Ricky Mack Morris. Morris faces 3 capital murder charges. Authorities say he set fire to a Phoenix City mobile home in June 2019, killing the elderly couple inside. From WRBL News 3, I'm Olivia Yepes. Have a great rest of your day.
Good Monday morning, off to a cold and frigid start with temperatures in the mid to low 20s under clear skies. And those temperatures are going to remain cold throughout most of the day with high temperatures only in the mid to low 40s. Again, tonight, expect those cold temperatures dropping into the mid to low 20s yet again. And we are going to be slightly warmer for your Tuesday afternoon with temperatures in the 50s. By the end of the week, we're tracking an even warmer forecast. Highs return to the 60s.
Join Mark Patrick's seminars and lose the weight guaranteed. Early bird special only $59.99. Seminars Monday, January 19th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites at Northlake in Columbus. Weight loss seminar starts at 5:30 p.m. with registration at 5 p.m. Stop smoking seminar starts at 8 p.m. with registration at 7:30 p.m.
Peach Eurotech is celebrating an anniversary with 47 years of servicing and repairing European vehicles from Audi, Mercedes, BMW, Range Rover, and beyond. Take advantage of the December anniversary specials. At Peach Eurotech, you'll be treated with respect, and you're going to love the savings every visit. Allow Peach Eurotech to service or repair your European vehicle today. Check out the finance options as well. Pete's motto is, come in as a stranger and leave as a friend. Contact Pete or John at 706-660-1900 and start saving on your automobile repairs today.
So you need last-minute gifts. No judgment. Get an extra 25% off during Kohl's Friends and Family Sale and find great gifts under $20. Like something cozy, something thoughtful, something that says, you planned this all along. Yep, you're just one quick trip away from checking off the last gifts on your list. Save now at Kohl's and Kohls.com. Select styles. Offer ends December 24th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
Every day, 12 children die from sepsis, more than from cancer. Most people don't know the word sepsis or the symptoms. Protect yourself and your loved ones. To learn more about the symptoms, go to sepsis.org.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. VA sends a weekly email to over 13 million veterans that's jam-packed with amazing resources. Subscribe for free at va.gov/vet resources.
My life was going downhill fast. Everybody was on my case. Now, I kept hoping that life would change real soon. I knew drinking too much messed up my life. A friend suggested I check out AA. It worked. I found myself in an AA group. Finally, I've got my act together.
Visit aa.org for more information and download the Meeting Guide app to find a meeting near you.
Older buildings may contain asbestos and lead. Pipe or other insulation, ceiling tiles, exterior siding, roof shingles, and sprayed-on soundproofing may contain asbestos. Disturbing materials containing lead-based paint may release lead dust into the air. If your home contains asbestos or lead-based paint, and any of these materials have been damaged or will be disturbed during cleanup, talk to public health authorities. From the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency.
The only live and local sports morning show. It's the Sportsvisions Morning Show with Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Famer DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer on Sportsvisions 92.1.
Welcome back to the Sportsvisions Morning Show. DJ Jones and Richard Holdridge. Good Monday morning, everybody. It's a great day for a great day. And speaking of a great day, on Thursday of last week, we had the opportunity to honor and celebrate over nearly 100 of the top high school players and coaches at our Sportsvisions 18th Annual Awards Luncheon presented by Aflac. And I want to go down the list. I'll take the first page, Richard. You can take the second one. But we had nearly 30 schools that first and foremost, right off the rip, we give the coaches an opportunity to have his best offensive and defensive players invited to be recognized and honored. And I'll start with Auburn. Had Trenton Pritchett, Greg Wilson, Beauregard High School. I bet you hadn't heard of that one. Tay Foreman and Nick Lunday, Brookstone, Samuel Lavoie, Harrison Baker, Carver, Kelton Tarver, and Jayton Taylor. At Callaway High School, Tyrone Fenton and Carr Anderson, Calvary Christian, Braxton Wilkerson, and Darnell Hamilton. Central of Phoenix City, Jayshawn Woodhouse and Tristan Lyles. And for the Chatco, Chattahoochee County, Joshua Brinkley and Brayton Hope.
All right, for Columbus, Andrew Smith, the fourth, best offensive player. Woodruff Holland, best defensive player. For Glenwood, Cal Lawrence and Carter Judah. For the Greenville Patriots, Marquell Deering and Braylon Welch. The Hardaway Hawks, Jameer Brown and Robert Allen. For Harris County, Wesley Sappington and Philip Sterling. For Jordan, Diedrich Singh and Jameer Crummy. Kendrick, Lavasco Williams and Tristan Mitchell. For the LaGrange Grangers, Karsten Shattuck and Cornelius Brown. And then we also have the Lynette Panthers that went to the state championship, Nadarius Morgan and Jeremiah McGilberry. For the Manchester Blue Devils, Tommy Bowles, Devorius Favors. Marion County, Batavian Moses, Dion Hawkins. Northside, Jay Jackson and Aaron Bass. Opelika, CJ Johnson and LaKadrick Burtz. For Pacelli, DJ Colvin and Uriah Masick. For those Russell County Warriors, Quentin Lewis and Isaiah Thomas. For the Shaw Raiders, Aaron Grant and Noah Hart. For the Smith Station Panthers, Luke Sexton and Mikael Bronner. The Spencer Green Wave, Elijah Fudge and CJ Starr. For Stewart County, Bryson Brown and Ladea Gilbert. And finally, the Troup County Tigers, Garrison Edwards and Bubba Taylor.
Congratulations to all of those young men. I tell you what, it was just a great, great opportunity to congregate, to come together, and again, to celebrate and honor these young men. And again, having the opportunity to, honor all of those young men, but over and beyond, we had what you call specialty awards, and those were sponsored awards. The best of this, the best of that, the outstanding player, the most valuable player, and of course the Columbus Lions. And I'll start, Richard, and we could just alternate every 2 or 3 or so. But the Columbus Lions, who are on board, the Roger Becks, thanks to Roger Beck, and of course he's the new majority owner of our arena football team. He wanted to come in and make an impact. We just had a press conference introducing the new owner and of course the new general manager with, of course, Corey Black and Damian Daniels, the head coach. This is a wonderful way to jump right in as a new organization into the community to partner with us and make you have your presence in and around the people that that play the game. And these young student athletes were honored by the Columbus Lions having the middle school player of the year. Congratulations to Caden Chester, and they, of course, the city champions of middle school football were with the Rothschild Falcons. Mm-hmm. Also, the Columbus Lions had an award, was the middle school coach of the year. And congratulations to Corey West, also the head coach for Rothschild.
And the Aflac Student Athlete of the Year went to CJ Starr from the Spencer Green Wave. The Sportsvisions Outstanding Coach on the Rise was Billy McDonald from the Lynette Panthers.
You can go ahead. Go ahead, Rich.
Tim Walton, Stay Ready Foundation, 2025 Most Outstanding Defensive Back, Jamar Williams from the Calvary Christian Knights.
And, of course, our Sportsvisions Offensive Lineman of the Year, Parker Pritchett. I tell you what, he's headed to Auburn.
Yeah.
All 6'6", 280 pounds of him. He looks like a pro already, but we appreciate him. Morgan Stanley is one of our new sponsors for the 2025 Defensive Player of the Year. Goes to a guy that's headed west. He's going to Texas A&M, and he is also going to be at the Benz with the George Washington Carver Tigers on tomorrow. His name is Tristan Givens. He's an outstanding edge rusher. And, of course, our Morgan Stanley 2025 Offensive Player of the Year. This is a wonderful dual-threat quarterback who had just had a dynamite season, but he's also a wonderful baseball player, a member of the state championship baseball team for Troup County last year. Garrison Edwards. And I tell you what, man, this young man has a bright future.
Yeah, absolutely. The Sports Vision's Defensive Lineman of the Year, Tristan Lyles from the Central Red Devils. We also got the Sports Vision's Most Outstanding Athletes. It's going to be Andrew Smith, the fourth from the Columbus Blue Devils, who made the playoffs with a 7-4 record, and then Jacoby Caslin, who was part of that three-headed monster in the backfield for the Carver Tigers.
And, of course, the Russell County Sheriff's Department got in on the action. And, again, you know, what a tremendous support that they have for that community out there.
Absolutely.
Sheriff Heath Taylor, he showed up looking like, what's my guy?
Matthew McConaughey. All right,
he
all
had
right.
a beautiful hat, leather jackets, cowboy boots. But the Russell County Sheriff Department 2025 Player of the Year award went to a young man that had an outstanding season. He set six Russell County High School records. And, of course, his name is Bryson Riggins, and I know you know a whole lot about Bryson.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, he has committed on signing day to Miles College in HBCU. I know our next guest is excited about that one.
Absolutely. And the Sports Vision's Player of the Year, Markel Deering, who, of course, for the most of the season, and this is out of Greensville, Coach Robert Sanders, who is the son of Pete Sanders, the first football coach at Carver High School, that was one of his team. He coached that team up there. And again, Markel Deering led the nation in rushing, or was near the nation's leading rushers for most of the season.
Yeah.
A Fountain City Classics Calvin Smyrie Scholarship Award went to Lavasco Williams from Kendrick and Aiden Jackson of Carver.
Yeah, and the Mercedes-Benz of Columbus 2025 Coach of the Year went to Ian Headley from the Brookstone Cougars. I mean, first year getting them to the state championship, what an accomplishment. The Andre Kennebrew 2025 Leadership Award went to Tristan Givens from the Carver Tigers.
And the Houston Clinic 2025 Comeback Player of the Year. This guy had a tremendous year. Had a devastating injury, knee injury, but Tay Foreman from Beauregard, was glad to see him in the building and glad to see him come back. Our Morehouse School of Medicine Gridiron Award, of course, J.D. Davis from Pacelli and Travius Edmonds from Carver. J.D. Davis, I tell you what, he had a nice season for a midi grinder. I know you guys had an opportunity to call us or see a few of those games.
Yeah, absolutely. Pacelli had a great season, just came up short in the playoffs to the Brookstone Cougars. But, yeah, they had a great season. Artavius Edmonds, another award for a Carver Tiger. Just that grit award, it's very well deserved. The Chick-fil-A 2025 Servant Leadership Award. This is some of the things that are off the field. Serving the community. Jordan Waits from the Opelika Bulldogs and Broughton Branch from the Brookstone Cougars. And this next one, you definitely got to introduce this because this is your former coach, DJ.
Absolutely. And in honor of our great coach, Wallace Davis, who's still with us. He's our Special Teams Player of the Year. And again, this is something we've instituted, many years ago, as far as honoring the top special teams players in the area. But Zachary Wampler from Columbus High School, I tell you, man, he had a spectacular year. A couple of long field goals there, but was a big integral part of that winning season that the Columbus Blue Devils had this year. Also, Jimmy Turner from Brookstone. He is another one of those nice kickers that you love to see in high school. Our Sports Vision Georgia State Championship award went to the Pacelli Lady Vikings, their flag football team. Tell you what, Coach Zach Cochran in the Pacelli Vikings did a wonderful opportunity. Had a wonderful opportunity and brought back four state championships.
4 in a row. And I'm blown away. I know flag football is still getting going. Some schools don't even have flag football teams, but Pacelli is able to get it done. And the second championship for Coach Cochran this calendar year, as well as he won a soccer championship. And we were there at Mount DeSales for the championship, and congratulations to them.
And the Sports Vision's Newcomer of the Year award went to a young freshman phenom. This young man, for the most of the season, 14 years old, but he set this city, he set this region, he set the state, he set the country on fire. Zach Watts from Carver, man, I tell you what, he had a million touchdowns. He had a bunch from scrimmage, and he ran back a lot, but they called back. If they wouldn't have called back at least a half dozen or more of his punt returns, man. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. He was incredible, but great to see this young man. And I tell you, God willing, if he's able to stay healthy, we will be talking about this guy for a long time.
Absolutely. And then the Sports Vision's Alabama State champions, the 2025 Central Lady Red Devils flag football team led by Coach Mitchell Holt. They had 57 straight wins, man. They are just dominating flag football in Alabama. And then we've got the Sports Visions Flag Football Players of the Year for the Pacelli Vikings, KK Jackson. I saw that interview that Thrift did, and that was a great interview. And then Mariah Harrison is another one of those great Central Red Devils flag football players. It's just incredible.
Absolutely. And, of course, this young man, he was one of the original honorees back in during his time in high school back in the late 2000s. But Isaiah Crowell, Offensive Player of the Year award went to, and this award is sponsored by Isaiah, and he wanted to go to the most outstanding offensive player of the year from Carver. Kelton Popcorn Tarver is the recipient this year, and very well deserving. And of course, another award that's near and dear to my heart, our Sports Visions Community Service Award. And we started doing this because, normally in towns and cities and places, the normal folks that are the business leaders or the politicians, they obviously, they get their awards and well deserved. But I wanted to go for the unsung people, the folks that, nobody ever hears about it. Nobody. And yet, guess what? She doesn't care what she's gainfully employed, happily married, and doing wonderful things. But she is dedicated to helping us every year for the last 10 years, whatever way and however she can, with our Sports Visions Award. And her name is Angela Strange. She is our 2025 recipient. And finally, our Finley Firm 2025 Coach of the Year, none other than Jarvis Jones from Carver. And he's still got work to do, and he still has an opportunity to bring home some more hardwood, or at least some more hardware with regards to their game tomorrow at Mercedes-Benz. Kickoff is at 5:00.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that Coach Jarvis Jones is going to get his Carver Tigers ready for the state championship against Hapeville Charter tomorrow. And I'm just so proud of just the work that he has done coming in his first year. And Carver has a chance to go back to back. It's been a while since we've had a back-to-back champion in the city as far as public schools go, but especially in the Columbus area. But yeah, he has a chance to get it done tomorrow at the Benz.
All right, let's go ahead and take our final break, or not our final break. It's the final break of this morning. However, coming up in just a little bit, don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about the Celebration Bowl. You're watching Facebook Live and you're listening to WOTC HD2 Sports Visions 921. We are your hometown sports guys.
I was so wrong for so long. Only trying to...
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for waking up with the Sports Visions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer. Catch me at 9 a.m. every weekday morning, right here on Sports Visions 92.1.
My therapist had told me that I needed to go to AA meetings, but I wasn't sure whether I wanted to go because I didn't want to be an alcoholic. That was not what I wanted to grow up and be. I didn't want to go to AA, but I did, and it wasn't what I expected by any means. It was friendly. I could feel it. I could feel the happiness. It's really great.
Visit AA.org for more information and download the Meeting Guide app to find a meeting near you.
Sepsis kills more than 258,000 Americans every year, and the number of people getting sepsis is rising. Anyone can get sepsis, but those who are older or chronically ill are even at higher risk. You can reduce your risk of developing sepsis by getting your flu and pneumonia shots, practicing good hygiene, getting immediate care if you develop signs of an infection. Every minute counts when it comes to sepsis treatment. The sooner you get treatment, the better the outcome. Sepsis is a medical emergency. Help stomp out sepsis. Sepsis.org.
Running a business can sometimes feel like you're going at it alone, but you don't have to. At the East Alabama Chamber of Commerce, we're here to help you build relationships that matter, grow your business, and amplify your voice in our community. From networking and learning opportunities to advocacy and support, the East Alabama Chamber of Commerce connects you with the people and the resources that help make your business thrive. Because when local businesses succeed, our entire community grows stronger. Don't just do business, make an impact. Join the incredible network of the East Alabama Chamber of Commerce today at EALCC.com.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd, 12 to 3 on Sports Visions 92.1. Now back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Here's Carver Tigers legends DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones and Richard Holdridge. It's a memorable Monday. It's a great day for a great day. We're so glad that we're able to help you get your day started. Let's go ahead and bring him up right now. He's been with us, and of course, he will continue to be because he is a hometown hero, a hometown favorite. Together for Tim Turner. Good morning. How are you, Tim?
Good morning, DJ. Richard, how you guys doing?
Wonderful, man. Wonderful. I tell you what, has everybody's feet come to the ground in Atlanta? It was just a tremendous celebration, no pun intended, in the Celebration Bowl, man. I tell you, 4 overtimes with that South Carolina State Prairie View game. It seemed to be exciting from what I saw on television.
I tell you what, I know that from the first half, I turned it off. And, it was going to be a blowout. And I went out and started doing some Christmas things, getting some decorations up with some lights fixed. And I came back just, I really didn't, after halftime and I saw what happened. I was like, okay, I'm going to sit down and watch this for a taste. And oh my goodness, the back and forth during the regulation time, and then the heartbreak there in overtime. So it was a great game. It was an outstanding game. 4 overtimes. You feel kind of bad for not kind of. You feel awful as a former kicker. You feel awful for the Diego Alfaro, the place kicker for Prairie View, because the championship was right there on his foot, and he missed by inches in OT, and that hurt because it gave South Carolina State a chance to go in and win the game. So hats off to both teams. It was a far better game than I anticipated from the first half, but South Carolina State showed their resilience, and it was a worthy championship game for both teams.
Well, Tim, this officially puts a bow on HBCU football for this season. I know it's been great having you on every Monday, just talking about just what's been going on in HBCU football. What was your most memorable moment this season? Was there anything that stood out that really caught your eye that was very just intriguing?
I really think about the turnaround at Delaware State. I had very low expectations from LaShawn Jackson because of how he was in the NFL. You don't think of people maturing and being leaders of men, and what he did at South Carolina at a Delaware State was phenomenal. You get in there and you don't. They had expectations that I didn't have. I had higher expectations for Norfolk State, and seeing how it didn't work out for Michael Vick in this first year. And I know it's going to take a while. People have to give people a chance to get their people in. I would, if I'm an HBCU administration, I would give a coach at least 4 years. At least 4 years, so they can get all their people in there, all their kids in there, their recruits in there, their staff in there, and really have their philosophy ingrained in the program, as opposed to knee-jerk reactions. Because I don't think the first year in Norfolk is going to be indicative of what Michael Vick is going to do there, and I don't think it's going to be market success all the way through with Deshaun Jackson. It happens. You have these ups and downs, and I say that prefacing friend of the show for you and friend of the show from our show. You get what you get. Terrence Mathis being released in Morehouse after a couple of seasons.
Yeah, one thing about it, Tim, it used to be like what you just said. You get 4 years to bring in all your recruiting classes all the way through their senior year, but I can understand that on the Power 5 level, or even the level where the money matters. But, on HBCUs again, taking on that same mantra, it's just not fair because they don't have the same resources or the same monies to offer kids to come to their institutions too. Because, again, the ones that do end up being elite or end up having outstanding season, they're plucked by the big boys. And they're constantly turning that roster over. And I heard this on the street, but basically HBCUs, and this is the word, and again, it's not my words, it's the word I was hearing, is that there's much more going to a glorified junior college now, because all the big schools are taking their top tier players and leaving all whatever is left behind.
To a degree, I agree with that, DJ, but it depends on the school, and it depends on the support that they get from the administration. It depends on the support they get from their alumni. It depends on who the athletic director is and what the mission is. Granted, we know what the mission is of Morehouse. It's not to be football youth. It's for preparing people to be leaders of communities, to be international leaders, that kind of thing. And you're recruiting a different kind of kid there. Those kids are in full force student athletes. You have to go to class. You have to do a whole lot there to, in addition to playing ball. And those kids are probably they see better facilities at a better schools in regards to sports. I mean, you see a Stanford or a Northwestern who recruit the same kind of kids who are looking for really smart kids and kids who can also balance that with football. That's not to take away from anybody else, but my goodness, Stanford had a guy there for about 12 years, and they met modest success, but it was 12 years, and they had some success. Northwestern, Pat Fitzgerald was there forever. They're those type of guys, and those are Power 5 conferences back in their day, and they were able to recruit those kids. So I think that it was unfair to only allow Terrence 2 years at Morehouse, and I think that the athletic department, more so than the administration is new, and I think they're taking their cues from the AD, and I think the AD made a fatal mistake in that program. It just sets it back again to fire a guy a week after recruiting starts.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you going to do for next year? Who wants to go to an unstable place? They don't have a head coach in place. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen done in sports.
Tim, we had early signing day a couple of weeks ago. We had a kid from our area, Bryson Riggins, the quarterback for Russell County, who signed with Miles College. We're just so proud of him. And I think that you're going to get big recruits that are going to sign with HBCUs just because HBCUs are now on television more than ever. Just talk about like anything that stood out as signing day. We remember when Travis Hunter flipped from Florida State to Jackson State. I mean, that was a big deal. Will we ever see anything like that? Or has there been any big recruits that signed with HBCUs?
Well, not yet, but I think you're going to see more of that when you have a Marshall Faulk down at Southern. When you start seeing these name guys that are out there, they're going to start picking off these kids because they're going to realize there's more to it than going to a Power 5. If you have talent, they will find you. Yeah. Who heard of Jerry Rice? Who heard of Walter Payton? Who heard of Robert Brazile? Who heard of Michael Strahan? Who to this day, I interviewed him a while ago, and he had a guy on his team, Donald Narcisse, outstanding wide receiver. And I told him, I said, Strahan, I thought if anybody was going to be in the Hall of Fame, it was going to be Donald Narcisse. I was right. Narcisse is a Hall of Famer for the Canadian Football League. and Strahan is in the NFL Hall of Fame. And I would have never have, that's why I'm not a GM for anybody's team, because I don't recognize that kind of talent. But what I'm saying is, if they will find you, they found Strahan at Texas Southern. They found in basketball, they found Avery Johnson at Southern. There's these kind of they will find you if you put up enough points, or if you score enough points, or sack enough people. So it's not like you have to go to a Power 5 or a mid-major. You can go to a Miles, because Miles is a very strong football program for the past 3 years. They've been really great. I can see a lot of kids wanting to go to Albany State just on what has happened the past couple of years. So kids shouldn't be so enamored with these other conferences and other things they're doing. Whoever's going to give you an opportunity to play, don't look at the NIL money, because NIL is MIA at HBCUs. So, go ahead and think about where you can get, yourself out there, put something on some film, and people will find you.
Tim Turner is our guest this morning on the Sports Visions morning show. And Tim, we were talking about Michael Vick and Deshaun Jackson, as well as Marshall Faulk, and I'm still stuck on that time frame as far as HBCUs. And again, Morehouse getting rid of Terrence after a couple of years, and really giving these guys an opportunity to recruit and bring in the people. You're right. It's absolutely up to the athletic director and the presidents of the universities to, and the alumni that are the power players in a lot of these decisions that are made. They have to make a commitment to these programs. Now, how many different coaches has Morehouse had in the last 10 years?
Oh my gosh. 10 years is going to be tough, because there was a guy that was there for a long time. Rich Freeman was there for like about 6 or 7 years. It might have been longer than that, but there's been like a turnstile over the last, I say 5.
Yeah.
And that you can't have any kind of continuity when you have that kind of thing. And I know I would shy away from a place not knowing the guy who brought me in. Is he still going to be there? It's not saying you're stuck there, but you went to the school there because of the attraction of athletics and academics. academics will have to keep you there. And then you don't know if this guy who comes in next is going to have you, look at you the same way as the previous administration did, the previous coaching staff did. So I think that makes it really tough. So I just would encourage kids, like I said, just to go where you think the guy's going to be there. I mean, granted, these kids now, the coaches now aren't wedded to telling you the truth, saying I'll be there for the 4 years, and once a better gig comes along, they're out of there. They want you to commit for 4 years or whatever, but they will take the next thing smoking, which you'll see. Check out Ole Miss. What's happening then was they get ready to prepare for the game this weekend when they're I think when they're playing A&M. Not they're playing A&M. Ole Miss is playing Tulane. So yeah, when you have they had to try to keep their coaching staff together while their coach is getting ready for the next season down in Baton Rouge.
Tim, I want to bring it back to the Celebration Bowl. Obviously, it's a huge deal, brings in a lot of money, and congratulations to South Carolina State. I mean, they're the HBCU national champions, but I feel like there's something that left that could be, that's on the table, and that's the FCS playoffs. I know that there's not a whole lot of money in there. You rarely see HBCUs in the FCS playoff, but do you think that in the future, the winner of the Celebration Bowl could get an automatic bid? Because I want to see them go up against some of the top FCS schools, because there's some talented teams that could possibly win an FCS national championship.
Richard, I think that's going to have to be something that the conferences are going to have to agree to. I say that in the sense that when the Celebration Bowl is being played, I think this is like the second round or third round for the FCS playoffs. So if you're going to do something like that, you're going to have to bump the Celebration Bowl up a week or so and say the winner of this, you have to make some sort of a agreement with the NCAA to say the winner of this will get that automatic berth, or the teams that play in this game get the automatic berth. These like you see PV and South Carolina State getting berths into the playoffs, just like you see a lot of times with some of these conference championships. You knew Alabama was going to even with the loss to Georgia, you knew Alabama was going to be in there because you lost in the SEC championship game, which is the greatest conference in the land. Big Ten people might want to argue that, but the same way you knew that it was going to be Ohio State and Indiana in there. They were ranked pretty high, but it wasn't like they were going to knock them out. So if you have people that are playing in really quality conferences and they play their championship games in advance of what was going to happen, which is what the Power 5 schools are doing, you're going to get some people in there.
Tim, I know it's early. I say it's early, but the game is was on Saturday. However, again, when you talk about the Celebration Bowl, the Black College National Championship game, when you talk about economic impact, for that matter, even the attendance, it seemed to appear to be a pretty good attendance over there. Do you think it really had an impactful? Did it make an impact on socioeconomics with regards to the game being at Atlanta?
I think that they did a great job on ESPN of making it look like it was pretty good attendance.
No.
There was only 20,000 people, 20,000 plus in Mercedes-Benz Stadium
for a national Black College National Championship game.
Well, you have to think about it too. Prairie View doesn't travel. South Carolina State is a drive, so it's not like people from Jackson who were 5-hour drive over to Atlanta.
Yeah,
and, they're still coming in there Thursday through Sunday. Like I said, I was thinking once PV won, there was folks scrambling to cancel hotel rooms, cancel event halls where they're going to have parties galore all over the city. When that happened, I'm quite sure that people will say publicly that they didn't have a dog in the fight who won, the people who run the Celebration Bowl. But I'm quite sure they would have loved to have had two schools that were from far distances, who had really strong fan support and would come in and watch the game. But yeah, there was a lot of red seats there. I had a photo was looking at the other day, and they had the attendance on it, and it was 20,000 plus in there. So it was disheartening. But you can't make people, just then again too, it's Christmas time. There's a lot of things that are going on. People aren't looking at it as an appointment place. If your fan base isn't going to be there, and whatever packages they were trying to sell and everything else, bless them. But it wasn't the same as if you'd have some marquee, both teams with marquee names.
Tim, I want to talk about the Atlanta Falcons. They're eliminated from the playoffs, but they did get the win over the Buccaneers on Thursday night. Kirk Cousins was fantastic, 3 touchdown passes. Do we have a quarterback controversy now in Atlanta with Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix Jr.?
No, we have a quarterback controversy irrespective of both of them. Penix is pretty much going to be on the sidelines next year, and somebody's going to pick up Kirk Cousins. And if you could pick up, you get a 44-year-old granddaddy off the couch who hadn't played in 5 years to come be a quarterback somewhere. You can get a guy who's a little bit, long in their tooth, but an active NFL player.
Cam Newton?
To be a quarterback somewhere. Cam may have burned so many bridges, with that kind of thing, but he looks like he's in great shape, and he might be able to do something else still in the NFL. But I think it was a great job by Cousins. As much as I just hate what he did last year, being such a selfish guy, knowing he was hurt and wanting to keep Penix on the bench, he was great on Thursday night. So much so, again, at halftime, once Tampa came out and got their touchdown just after the half, I said, that's a wrap. I'm going to bed. And waking up the next morning, they're saying, hearing the guy on the radio, he's saying, that has to be one of the most incredible comebacks in the history of the Falcons, at which made me go up and look at the replay because I was taping it, and I could not believe what was going on. I mean, where was Kyle Pitts the most of the season? It seemed like those two cats said, we're going to make this our game tonight. And then Tampa folding toward the end. Oh, my goodness. That was unexpected. So here you have Carolina battling with Tampa for first place in the division still. So, to see something like that happen, and those guys, they'll be battling it out this weekend as well. In addition to the CFP games that are going on, because this is the first full weekend of all of those games, and they're matchups galore across the board.
Tim, I'm going to pivot one last time here. We have a few minutes to discuss this, and I just want to get your take. You've been in the business a long, long time, but for whatever reason, the situation up at Michigan with Sharon Moore, the head coach that was fired, in all of your years of covering college football, have you ever heard the head coach's dirty laundry go out in public with a firing?
I only think of 3 things. I think number one, the Michigan State coach was let go with the same type of thing that happened to Moore over at Michigan, and it baffles me, But again, coaches have egos too, and they think they can do anything. I keep thinking of the Rick Pitino thing in Kentucky, or was it Louisville? Excuse me, Louisville. Rick Pitino and Bobby Petrino. Those are incidences where you say stuff that was off the field stuff severely impacted, their careers. And, but Petrino came back, was coaching Arkansas for a taste this year. And Patino's gotten a job. I think it still is I'm not sure where, St. John's, I believe. So, there are guys that do recover. But it just baffles me. These guys do these things because the Michigan coach just essentially threw away $14 million. And his marriage and his career is stained. I mean, it was already Michigan. Already people were looking at him, kind of giving him the side eye because of what happened before when Harbaugh was there. And, that whole thing that was going on, people were looking at Michigan kind of funny. But it's amazing how people are so short-sighted about their careers and what their legacies are going to be. And, they just, I just think it's oversized ego when they do things like this, when they just aren't satisfied with the lives that they've been afforded as coaches.
Tim, as I sat on the couch and watched those 1:00 games, and I could not believe my eyes that the Kansas City Chiefs got eliminated this early in the season. But unfortunately, Patrick Mahomes with a torn ACL, we wish him a speedy recovery. I've never seen like a team has been a dynasty dominating for a decade fall this quick. I mean, were you shocked that the Chiefs got eliminated this quick in the season?
I was. I mean, they looked very ordinary. They didn't look invincible. Normally the Chiefs teams, they look like they're really stout defense, and their offense was like they always zigged where you zagged. Somebody was always open. The plays were always made. But they just looked really ordinary the past couple of years. Kelsey has not looked as dominant as he's looked. Their defense hasn't looked as dominant. Mahomes can't just keep trying to carry the team offensively. Their running backs, there was nothing about them that made them special this year. And it started really It was the first game they played against the Chargers in Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
So you see, it kind of bookended. The Chargers, let people know what was up in the first game of the season, and then the Chargers took them out on yesterday. So I think it was like an 11-year run for them being in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And you have to just admire their greatness there, all those Super Bowls and everything that they've done. But the rest of the season, it's like, they're also rans like everybody else. And the thing about it is, I think they may have a couple of national TV games still left. I think they play on Christmas Day, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they do.
And they're going to have Gardner Minshew as the quarterback. I don't think anybody at the network was anticipating having a Christmas Day game with Gardner Minshew, pulling the trigger for Kansas City. So there'll be a lot of folks opening presents and putting batteries in toys and that kind of stuff on Christmas Day.
Tim, the last thing I have for you is that we both have been a part of some incredible celebrations at the end of the year with regards to luncheons and banquets in Little League sports and high school sports and collegiate sports. And we just had our Sports Visions 18th annual. Dale and I, of course, put this together, some time ago. However, I wanted to get from you as a former and a very accomplished athlete, when you're being rewarded or being honored, it feels good, especially when you're young, to be told that, you're being recognized as one of the best. So talk about that impact and that effect that it had on you to this day.
Oh, it's outstanding. And I was listening to you guys read off the MVPs and the awards and the people who are sponsoring the awards. I mean, it's like, the who's who of people growing up. And just you listening to their names this morning, if I'm getting ready for school and I hear my name on the radio, I'm hyped. I'm pumped. Mm-hmm. I'm excited. That kind of thing. Recognizing kids is the greatest thing you could possibly do because kids crave attention, positive attention, not attention when they're doing something crazy or bad, when they're doing something incredibly positive, like what you guys did with your award ceremony last Thursday. I think anytime you hear that, and in a community like Columbus, it's a growing town, but it's still close knit. And you have people all over the Tri-Cities who are listening to you guys, all over the Tri-Cities who are watching these athletes and saying, I knew them when, and then seeing them go on to do great things. Even give a shout out to your hometown. Early in the season, by Williams, the kid from Hardaway,
Michael,
played for the 49ers, and to have him, instead of saying University of Georgia, he said Columbus, Georgia. So when you hear something like that, a kid who wants to rep his hometown because he thinks that highly of it, and it's because of things like what you guys do, what the newspaper does. Anytime you can give these kids positive recognition, anytime you can show them support, it leaves an impact. And I know it did for me because it's a lot of times I didn't know I was getting anything. And then my coach would come in and tell me, yeah, you won this award, and you did this. And you're like, you're totally stunned because you're just thinking you're playing ball and playing for the love of the game. And then to be recognized for it means a whole lot.
Good stuff, Tim. And thank you so much for helping us wake up with the Sports Visions Morning Show.
Thank you, guys. Richard, DJ, have a good Monday, guys.
All right. Take care.
Thanks,
have a
Tim.
great rest of your morning. All right. Let's go ahead and take a short break. Tim Turner, man, I tell you, he is again, this is a guy who actually grew up in this community, who has celebrated in this community. And again, he has a story to tell.
I always enjoy having Tim come on and just talk nothing but sports. It's been great.
Big ups to Gerald Bedgood, who's listening out there. Stanley Crowell, we'll appreciate you, big guy. All right, let's go ahead and take a break. We'll be back in just a bit. You're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you are listening to Sports Visions 921. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
If it's local, it's on the Sports Visions Morning Show with former Georgia Bulldog DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer.
Listen, were you forced into getting a solar contract and now you just don't want it anymore? Maybe the solar company misled you. Or is your solar contract buried with hidden fees? Are you not saving the amount of money you thought you would on your energy costs? Don't worry. At the Solar Exit Hotline, we can help you cancel your solar contract. even if the panels are already installed. Our experienced legal team will review your contract and help you cancel it, possibly saving you thousands of dollars. You got to call right now for complete details. So listen, if you're not happy with your solar contract for any reason, we are here to help you cancel it. Call the Solar Exit Hotline now for immediate options to help you exit your solar contract. This call is 100% free.
800-908-7197. 800-908-7197. 800-908-7197. That's 800-908-7197.
I'm always on the go. But with the Kinetic Credit Union app, Kinetic is always with me. The Kinetic mobile app is virtual banking at its best. With the Kinetic mobile app, I can easily send and receive money, make a deposit, pay some bills, and I can even open up a new account, all from my phone. And I can monitor all my accounts in one place, all on the go. The Kinetic mobile app, energized banking at its best.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
Hey, this is Lisa Stofan. Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband. He lost weight. More important, cholesterol and blood pressure improved. My friend went, and she lost 20 pounds in the first 2 months. So does Mark Patrick hypnosis work? Oh yeah, it works. Nothing has changed my life more. Well, except maybe my husband. He's so proud of me. Makes me cry.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. What are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick's seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. Early bird special, only $59.99. That's right. Weight loss seminar Monday, January 19th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites at North Lake in Columbus at 5:30 p.m. Registration's at 5 p.m. Stop smoking seminar at 8 p.m. with registration at 7:30 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
Here's a tale of Linda trying to lose weight, but the med prices she found were all over the place.
Hidden fees and markups made her jaw drop low. Then she found Good RX. Now she's in the know.
GLP-1 subscriptions FDA approved.
With clear upfront pricing.
And same-day pickup.
That's Good RX, the no-nonsense way. Save time and money on prescriptions.
Get to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
My name is Corporal Bradley Joseph Seitz.
Jerry Reed.
Kate Weber.
These are real veterans facing a real challenge.
I have PTSD.
And I have PTSD.
I have PTSD.
Post-traumatic stress disorder can happen to anyone.
I was still in a war zone in my mind.
But treatment can turn your life around.
Treatment has really saved my life.
To learn about PTSD and how treatment can help you, call your local VA medical center or visit ptsd.va.gov.
This message is brought to you by TogetherWeServed.com, a leading online community of over 2.3 million veterans. TogetherWeServed.com provides all veterans an easy way to stay connected, share in the camaraderie of other veterans, and remember their service. Using its search engine, veterans can find people they served with and get in touch. If you served, visit TogetherWeServed.com.
WLTC HD2 Casita and W221DP Columbus. You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1, covering local and national sports. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show on Sports Visions 92.1. Drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Green Bay Packers. Here's DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones and Richard Holdridge in the building. Big shout out to Tim Turner, our good friend and our HBCU college football insider. And again, congratulations to the South Carolina State Bulldogs, man, for overtime victory over Prairie View. And I'm excited for the championship, but I'm really disappointed as far as how the outcome came. Economically for the city of Atlanta. We're talking about a festive time, national championship, black college football. And of course, because of the short drive that it is for, the schools and then again, I just 20,000 people, at a major college or at least a historically black college national championship game. That's embarrassing.
Yeah. I expected there was going to be a lot more people that are going to be at the bins, and it needs to be a bigger deal. I mean, say what you want. I know that Jackson State, that's probably the one HBCU that probably gets the most national attention. Maybe the fact that they weren't in it, and so that fan base that we know that is passionate and they travel. But, we talk about the two fan bases that probably just did not make the trip. And I don't know if it's just because there's so much stuff going on and there's other events going on. But, yeah, I expected that just to be bigger. And just the fact that they only had 20,000 in the seats is disappointing.
Yeah. They're very disappointing, especially when Atlanta is the chocolate city, quote unquote. I mean, it's the city. I mean, the black institutions that are in the city. I mean, I'm not going to excuse, Prairie View's people, or for that matter, South Carolina State's, but the city of Atlanta, the community of Atlanta. I mean, obviously, I think that 20,000 people, man, that's a drop in the bucket when you consider, having, taking a 20, 30-minute drive downtown to Mercedes-Benz to support something that's, so needed. And again, it dazzles me, and I'm going to get off of it before I stick my foot in my mouth. But, I congratulations to the Bulldogs from South Carolina State, and I'll leave it at that. Now, with those congratulations, I definitely want to make sure that I congratulate Fernando Mendoza, the very first Heisman Trophy winner from the Indiana Hoosiers. And, of course, he had a tremendous season, and he beat out some pretty damn good contestants.
Yeah, well-deserving. Fernando Mendoza was absolutely incredible this year. He deserved it, especially some of those throws he made against Ohio State. Indiana's the number one team in the country. They're the number one overall seed. And I know that I've been looking at some of the, the chatter on social media about, well, what about Diego Pavia? He was deserving. I'm like, he had a case because Vanderbilt went 10-2, and you got to remember, this is the most outstanding college football player. It's not a most valuable player award, but Fernando Mendoza, you take him off Indiana. I mean, I don't know what type of team they would be, but congratulations to all the recipients. I had a chance to see the presentation late Saturday night, and I know that Fernando Mendoza, he's projected to be the overall number one pick in the 2026 NFL draft, and hopefully Indiana can make some noise in the college football playoff. Maybe get a win against that winner between Alabama and Oklahoma, and possibly even win a national championship. That is not out of the question. And DJ, I got to ask you, when was the last time you've seen a professional or a college team or a professional team get featured on 60 Minutes? I mean, that was a huge deal. I mean, I never see sports get featured on 60 Minutes.
So you got to give me a little backstory here, because I didn't. Who do you talk about? Who was on there?
Oh yeah, Indiana. They interviewed Kurt Signetti. They did a feature story on Indiana. That's how big this story is. Because they said Indiana, the team that has the most losses in college football history, is the number one overall team in college football. And I was shocked that 60 Minutes actually did a feature story on the Indiana football team.
Nearly 3,000 yards that Mendoza threw for, and, of course, 33 touchdown passes, and he had added another 6 on the ground. But I'm going to be honest with you. Again, and I just blame this on my small-town mentality that, because I don't remember seeing anything other than a few clips of Mendoza during the season. And again, I know that they're the number one team in the country, and now he's the Heisman Trophy winner. But that's one of those things. And I'm a football guy for the most part. But I tell you, man, this one, Piava was my Diego Pavia was my guy. That's my allegiance to the Southeastern Conference. But he had a damn good year. But again, my congratulations to Fernando Mendoza. But watching Indiana Hoosiers football was just not something that I didn't even watch the Ohio State Indiana Big Ten Conference Championship game.
Yeah, you got to remember, Indiana, they had Fernando Mendoza, who transferred from Cal, which, by the way, I remember him when he played at Cal, and remember he beat Auburn last year. This is a very talented quarterback that went into the portal, and it seemed like it was just the right fit. I know that last year they had Curtis Rourke. They lost to Notre Dame in the first round of the college football playoff. I don't think Indiana's sneaking up on anybody. But, yeah, I think that Diego Pavia was deserving of winning the Heisman, too. That would be historic for Vanderbilt. And, congratulations to them. And Jeremiah Love and Julian Sand were the other players that got invited to New York. And when it comes to, the Heisman Trophy, the sports writers that get a vote, Heisman Trophy winners in the past get a vote. it's very subjective, and it just sometimes you do have an SEC bias. Sometimes you have a West Coast bias. I do want to throw this out there. Christian McCaffrey for Stanford should have won it, but nobody really pays attention to Stanford football because they play at 11 o'clock at night on the East Coast. So sometimes that factors into the voting as well.
Absolutely. 706-324-1420 is the number to call if, in fact, you have an opinion about whether, again, Fernando Mendoza is your choice or whoever you want it to. But I for the record, Diego Pavia is my guy. I love his. It's just something about a guy that when you see those guys standing on stage, he's probably 6 inches shorter than most of those guys. And but when you talk about going on a field and lighting it up and galvanizing a team that he did with Vandy, you know what? That'll go down. That performance will go down in history. And again, it's very Johnny Manziel like.
Yeah, there's no question about it. He has really made an impact on Vanderbilt football, and he got Clark Lee paid. Vanderbilt kept him there. So I know some colleges were wanting to try to poach him away from Vanderbilt, but he got a long-term extension. And I know that Diego Pavia is going to go down as the greatest quarterback in Vanderbilt history. Is not a disrespect to Jay Cutler or Jordan Rodgers. There's been some good Vanderbilt quarterbacks, but Diego Pavia, in my opinion, is number one.
Well, I tell you what, Richie, the bowl season started and opened up on Saturday, and I know that the Army-Navy game doesn't have the same luster. At least I didn't think it. Well, maybe it's to some people, but you as a military guy, did that game mean anything to you?
I thought it did. When I first joined the military, I thought this was the Super Bowl for all the military people. And when I come to realize the only people that care about the Army-Navy game are those that went to West Point and those that went to the Naval Academy. And when I was actually in a military school, and I had some West Point graduates that were going to their officer school at the same location up in Virginia, and they were getting excited about being part of the Army Black Knights, wearing their Black Knights gear. And I've been to the Naval Academy, and I know that there's so much passion there. I've seen that stadium over there in Annapolis. It just does not have that same appeal to the enlisted members of the Army and Navy, but it's a much bigger deal when you're deployed. I was actually deployed on a Navy base in 2004, and I know that they're just going around, go Army, beat Navy, go Navy, beat Army. But it just, for the normal, casual, enlisted person, it's just not that big of a deal.
A little closer to home at the Gump, they had a service bowl. Again, I don't know. I hadn't heard a whole lot about it, but if you could pull some of that information.
Yes.
Jacksonville State and Troy.
Yeah, they are going to play on Tuesday at the Cramden Bowl. It's the IS4S Salute to Veterans Bowl. How about this matchup? Troy and Jacksonville State in Montgomery.
So Tuesday is in tomorro?
Tomorrow.
So again,
they're playing tomorrow.
At what time? Because all eyes at 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock is going to be on, focused on the George Washington Carver.
I know. This is going to be a little bit later in the evening. It's going to be at 9 o'clock at night.
Okay, good deal. So, yeah. And, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. This game is in Montgomery. And, again, they have a bowl game there, as well as I believe they're still having a game in Birmingham. I'm not sure, but the bowl games are popping up, man. There's over 40 of those doggone games now. And you know what? Everything and everybody has a bowl game. And you know what? The thing is, Richard, and I'd love to get your opinion on this, people are starting to decline these bowl games.
Yeah,
once upon a time, that was unheard of.
I don't like it. I do not like it at all. I think Notre Dame starting the trend with that. And then you saw Iowa State and Kansas State declining bowls. And now you got a 5-7 Mississippi State that accepted a bowl bid. In nowhere should a 5-7 team ever go to a bowl game. There's just too many schools in the FBS that get bowl eligible because they do get 6 wins. And I think that we should celebrate. Once you get 6 wins, you become bowl eligible. It should be an honor to go to the bowl games. And I don't think it's watered down. I don't think we got too many bowl games. I'm actually looking forward to seeing Kennesaw State in the Myrtle Beach Bowl at 11 o'clock on Friday in the morning. There's some local teams in our area that are going to a bowl game, and it's a huge accomplishment.
It's a huge accomplishment indeed. But one bowl game that I know that I'm going to be watching. But I know one I've already made reservations, and everything is going well with regards to July January 1, and that's down in New Orleans, the Sugar Bowl. The Georgia Bulldogs will be taking on the winner of the Ole Miss Tulane game. And I tell you, whoever wins that game, Ole Miss or Tulane, I think the home field advantage because of the being in New Orleans will be the advantage to those two teams.
I'm excited to watch either one of those matches. The rematch between Ole Miss, where they had the shootout in Athens, or the Tulane Green Wave, who's going to have that home field advantage. And I mean, we've seen Georgia get up for these bowl games. I know that they've played a group of 5 team in the past. They played Hawaii in the Sugar Bowl, I remember a decade ago. I think that either matchup would be great, but I think we're going to get Georgia Ole Miss. I just think Ole Miss is a huge favorite against Tulane, but Tulane could surprise some people. And Coach John Summerall is coaching in that game, just in case anybody's wondering. I know he's taking the Florida job, but they're going to allow him coach in the college football playoff.
Having 3.5 weeks off, it bothers me because I know during the bye weeks after the games, after the bye weeks during the regular season, Georgia just came out a little, punch drunk. They came out a little, groggy-eyed. And, having, again, 3.5 weeks before you light up and play, I just hope that that Kirby can get these guys motivated. Not necessarily, that's not the word I'm looking for, but hope to get them to get started early because, again, that's a long time between your next game and, again, your last game, waiting 3 weeks to take on the winner of Ole Miss and Tulane.
Yeah, the only bright spot that comes out of having that long of a layover is just key players on the offense and defense that can get healthy and get ready for that bowl game. But you got to find ways to just get your team ready to get up for that game. Maybe have some simulated games during that time. That's just a long time off to get ready for a bowl game. And I know that's what you get when you get one of those top 4 seeds. Otherwise, Georgia would be playing in the first round this week. But I don't know if they do expand the college football playoff. If they, I don't know if it's a reward to reward the first 4 teams a bye, because you saw what happened last year. The first 4 teams lost in the first round of in the second round of the college football playoff, their first college football playoff game.
All right, Richard, let's go ahead and take another break. And when we come back, we'll check in on the Atlanta Hawks, see how they're doing. You're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you're listening to WLTC HD2. Sports Visions 921. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
I know that I don't make things clear.
If it's local, it's on the Sports Visions Morning Show with former Georgia Bulldog DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer.
Good morning. I'm Olivia Yepes. Here are your top headlines for this morning. 2 students were killed and 9 others injured in a shooting at Brown University on Saturday. Rhode Island authorities say they are releasing the person of interest they detained from the shooting. 48-year-old Jonathan Demetrius Powell died in a single vehicle accident on Manchester Expressway near J.R. Allen Parkway Saturday night. Columbus police say the investigation is still ongoing. And jury deliberations are expected to resume today in the trial of Ricky Mack Morris. Morris faces 3 capital murder charges. Authorities say he set fire to a Phoenix City mobile home in June 2019, killing the elderly couple inside. From WRBL News 3, I'm Olivia Yepes. Have a great rest of your day.
Good Monday morning, off to a cold and frigid start with temperatures in the mid to low 20s under clear skies. And those temperatures are going to remain cold throughout most of the day with high temperatures only in the mid to low 40s. Again, tonight, expect those cold temperatures dropping into the mid to low 20s yet again. And we are going to be slightly warmer for your Tuesday afternoon with temperatures in the 50s. By the end of the week, we're tracking an even warmer forecast. Highs return to the 60s.
Stop! Listen to this urgent message from 1-800-NEW-RATE. Don't pawn that title until you talk to 1-800-NEW-RATE first. If you need cash and have a free and clear title to your vehicle, don't pawn it before you call 1-800-899-6669. We offer monthly payments and also report to the credit bureau to help you build your great credit. With each payment paid, your balance will reduce until it's paid off. So if you have a free and clear title to your vehicle, call 1-800-NEW-RATE first to discuss your options. Don't pawn that title. Let us show you what a 1-800-NEW-RATE deal has to offer you. Just call 1-800-899-6669 to discuss your options. Don't wait. Call us today and let us show you how we can lower your payments and help your credit at the same time. Call now. 1-800-NEW-RATE at 1-800-899-6669. 1-800-899-6669. Call right now. Motors Acceptance Corporation, doing business as 1-800-NEW-RATE. Georgia Installment Lender License. NMLS number 1943997.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Then here's a great idea. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Yes, one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program and we'll come and remove your car for free. Fast, free towing, and 24-hour response. You can donate most cars, trucks, or SUVs in most conditions. The proceeds raised goes to help active military, veterans, and their families, and you get a tax deduction. All you need to do is make this free call. Get rid of that old car and help the vets. We make it easy. Make this free call now and book your fast and easy pickup. Call the Veteran Donation Program now. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Operators are standing by. Here's the number.
800-890-7021. 800-890-7021. 800-890-7021. That's 800-890-7021.
J. Smith Lanier and Company is now Marsh & McLennan Agency. We remain a full-service insurance, retirement, and risk management firm specializing in employee benefits, commercial insurance, surety, and personal insurance. It's our business to be there for you in the moments that matter, as we have for over 150 years, protecting what and who matters most. Marsh & McLennan Agency is one of the largest insurance brokerages in the United States, offering high-touch service by trusted local insurance specialists. Located in Brookstone Center Office Park and online at marshmma.com.
If you're struggling with weight and frustrated with dieting each and every year, Mark Patrick Seminars can help. Join the over 500,000 people who've attended Mark Patrick Seminars with feel great weight loss results. Mark Patrick Seminars will be in Columbus Monday, January 19th.
After this hypnosis, I want to eat good food.
Since August, I can honestly say I have not had one potato chip.
It was life-changing for me.
And I don't think about desserts like I used to.
Bridget, how much have you lost now?
I lost a total of 83 pounds.
Holy cow.
It's easy, it's fun, very relaxing, and very successful.
And I would just say go for it.
Early bird special, only $59.99. Lose all the weight you want, 100% guaranteed. Monday, January 19th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites at Northlake in Columbus. Weight loss seminars at 5:30 p.m. with registration at 5 p.m. Attend this program to find out how the power of hypnosis can help you achieve your weight loss goals. There's limited seating, so get there early. Learn more at markpatrickseminars.com. That's right, markpatrickseminars.com.
If it's local, it's on the Sportsvisions Morning Show with former Georgia Bulldog DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer.
I've been blind for a while now.
Welcome back to the Sportsvisions Morning Show. DJ Jones and Richard Holdridge in the building. Congratulations to the Sportsvisions High School Football Award honorees and recipients. Man, what a time on Thursday we had, Richard.
Yeah, it was just an incredible time. I was glad I got to be a part of it. This is my third year being a part of the Sportsvisions Football Awards Luncheon. I'm glad that I was able to present awards, and I always appreciate that. And, I know that Georgia Alabama Sports Live was a recipient last year, and it was honored. We were honored that we've been a past recipient, and it was just great just to have that category, that community service category you had. It was just great just to see somebody get that, just coming out to the community and really putting their time and effort in supporting the luncheon.
And when you talk about community service, it's my definition of community service is somebody going over and beyond the call of duty. Now, when you are doing a job, then you're getting paid by an organization or a company. That's not community service.
No, not at all.
And that's why Angela, Strange was a winner. I mean, this lady is gainfully employed as she works for, and I can throw it out there, Credit Union, and of course, but her opportunities to volunteer her services to us, just like last year with regards to the winner of course, the Georgia Alabama Sports Live. It's a labor of love. You guys not getting paid anywhere near what, again, it's not your job. It's something that you enjoy. Yeah. And I see the passion that went into all of those games and even more. You probably doubled that this year. But yeah, those are the reasons. And those are the types of people. Robert Gould is another guy that, when I think back, over the years of community service award winners and It's amazing. It's amazing, and but I'm glad that we have this platform. I'm glad that we can share the good news with all the folks that are listening out there this morning, and we appreciate it. Richard, let's talk a little bit about high school basketball, because I know that Carver has a game tomorrow, and I know that Harris County is playing today with regards to flag football at the Dome at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and but I want the basketball transition. You've already called a handful of games right now in the early goings. What intrigues you most about the high school games that you've called?
Well, I want to start with the girls. Right now, we've got a team that's undefeated, that they are ranked number one in our rankings as we release rankings every week on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. It's the Russell County Lady Warriors. Coach Ricky Jones has got them 11-0. They went into Pacelli and got an overtime win over the Pacelli Lady Vikings. They've already beaten Hardaway. They have really put themselves in a position where they can make a deep run in the playoffs, and they got a player, one of the top players in our area, in Mackenzie Word. And then on the boys' side, there are some teams that, by the way, Carver has not played a game yet. We have Chaco as our number one team in our rankings. They are 7-1. Champ Simpson, he's averaging over 20 points a game. He was he was a region player last year, and he's doing a phenomenal job for the Chaco Panthers. And what Coach Sean Glenn has built there, I think they can make a deep run in the playoffs. Carver has not played a basketball game yet. I know that they got a lot of football players. They were supposed to play Columbus tomorrow. I believe that game's getting moved to Wednesday. We finally get to see Carver in action. I know Pacelli's had a couple of games. Kendrick, I called the Kendrick Brookstone game on over the weekend. Coach Andre Dye's team has got a good team. He's 7-1. Noah Harris, he's one of the top players. He's averaging 18 points a game. I'm just excited that high school basketball is here. I know we can officially put a bow on the football season, and we got some Christmas tournaments coming up. We've got the holiday showcase at the Lumpkin Center the first weekend in January. We got the Border Wars put on by Glenwood. It's just a great time if you're a high school basketball fan, and we're really going to be revving up the season in the next couple of weeks.
All eyes and ears will be on Mercedes-Benz Stadium at 5 o'clock tomorrow, as they will be at 11 o'clock today.
Yep.
Because Harris County is playing Washington County up in the Dome today for the flag football championship. So realistically, if Harris County can take care of business, that would make the third state champion that we have from this area.
Yes, and I know that they have. I don't think they've been into this championship before, but they won a softball championship last year, and they have an opportunity to win a flag football championship with a first-year coach. And that's Coach Kinsley has taken over for Coach Moss. And a big shout out to Georgia Alabama Sports Live's Rick Beach from Kutsu Sports, who's also the assistant girls flag football coach for Harris County. I know that they're already at the bins, and they're getting ready, and they're going to be kicking off, taking on Washington County in a couple hours.
So they're going to have Rick Beach mic'd up. I mean, he's coaching, and he's the voice of the Harris County team. I mean,
got to get him mic'd up.
That'd be very interesting.
No, we appreciate Rick Beach. He has been a staple in Harris County, and he was the assistant flag football coach last year. And I know that he's done a fantastic job with Kutsu Sports, and Ethan Pettit, who he is starting to become the bright future voice of Harris County. Rick Beach has done a great job mentoring him, and he's called a lot of those Harris County games. And I know that I'll be watching it on GPB Sports. I'll get my phone out while I'm at work, and I'll be live streaming in. Hopefully Harris County can bring home a championship.
Bring home a championship indeed. And I tell you what, make no bones about it. You better, on everything you love, you better know that Sportsvisions will definitely have the opportunity and make a great deal out of what they bring to the table with regards to this state championship. That's both Harris County today, if they are able to knock off Washington County, and Carver tomorrow. The Carver Tigers in the Class 2A state championship taking on Hateville Charter at the Dome at 5 o'clock. So again, I'm already, as a matter of fact, I've already sent the order in for for my plates to be engraved with state champions Harris County and Carver.
Yeah, and I'm excited about today. I'm also really excited about tomorrow. Carver taking on Hapeville Charter, 5 o'clock in the 2A championship. And Hapeville Charter is a team that's been flying under the radar. They've got 2 impressive road victories over Morgan County and Sumter County to be in this position. Carver trying to go back-to-back. We were there a year ago, DJ. Remember we were down at the Bins, and they were taking on Burke County, and it was a huge deal. Coach Pierre Coffey winning a state championship, and then, he leaves to be the principal at Stewart County, and in comes Jarvis Jones, who, he's been an assistant under Coach Kirby Smart, and he is year one coming in and set a foundation, and they picked up where they left off from last year. They lost several key players, but they were able to go undefeated and get back to the Bins, and they have an opportunity to go back-to-back, and I am excited, and hopefully they can also bring home a championship tomorrow.
Big shout-out to, of course, Jarvis Jones, who, of course, on Thursday, he was able to grace the stage and as the winner of the Sportsvisions Finley Firm Coach of the Year. And, again, just undefeated. I didn't see this coming. And, again, a lot of people were, talking and a lot of noise, but I wanted to give this guy an opportunity to get in town and get comfortable and get his feet wet. But no, none of that. He jumped in on the deep end and he went all out, undefeated, unblemished, with a spectacular record-breaking season, and he deserves to be the Coach of the Year.
Yeah, and he has a chance to become a state champion as a player. Remember, he won it.
Oh, yeah.
In 2007, Jarmon Fortson was on that team. They ended up beating Cairo. Coach Del McGee winning that state championship, going undefeated, and winning it as a coach, also going undefeated. That's a huge accomplishment, and hopefully they could get it done tomorrow against Hapeville Charter.
All right, Richard, let's go ahead and take a short break. You're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you are listening to WOTC HD2 Sportsvisions 921. This is the Sportsvisions Morning Show.
Stay tuned. More local and national sports coverage next on the Sportsvisions Morning Show. Sportsvisions 92.1.
In Iraq, our truck hit a roadside bomb. I had about 16 surgeries on my hand so that I could regain function. And when I came home, I needed a new roof due to a storm. And I was about to lose homeowners insurance as well. I applied for Operation Homefront Critical Financial Assistance Program. And it's good to know that when we come home, there are people who are there that care about us. Operation Homefront, they've really been a blessing.
Visit OperationHomefront.org to learn more.
You guys just didn't want it bad enough. That should have been an easy win. What were you doing out there? You got to hustle. You could have made that play if you'd been open.
On the car ride home after the game, when you think you're helping by telling me what I did wrong and what I need to work on, all I hear is that I'm not good enough, that I'm supposed to be perfect, that it's not okay to lose. On the car ride home, all I need to hear is how much you love me and enjoy watching me play, that my worth isn't determined by my performance, that even on my worst day, I am worthy, that you see me learning, growing, and doing my best. And that is enough.
This message presented by the GHSA and the Georgia Athletic Directors Association.
Serving in Afghanistan, I was shot in the head by sniper fire. I was given a 5% chance to live. I'm Adam Alexander, and I'm a veteran. Today, I visit classrooms and share my story. I tell kids that with a little help and a lot of work, that you can overcome any challenge.
DAV helps veterans like Adam get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year.
My victory is being there for the next generation.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Diane from Michigan, a disabled senior citizen trying to get by. Henry from Florida, a veteran fighting to make ends meet. Elena from Arizona, a mother struggling to feed her daughter. Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year, like Diane, Henry, and Elena. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Did you serve in the military? If so, you can obtain a free lifetime pass to more than 2,000 federal recreation sites, including national parks, wildlife refuges, and forests. Getting a pass is easy. Just go to the National Park Service website, nps.gov, or the National Park Service app.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the AHSAA and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
You're waking up with a Sports Visions morning show on Sports Visions 92.1. Now back to former Green Bay Packer DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions morning show. DJ Jones and Richard Holdridge. Just a memorable Monday. And Richard, turn that music up just a little bit. Just wanted everybody to get a little bit of this in this morning to help them get the day started.
It's beginning to look a lot like...
It's Michael Bublé.
Michael Bublé. That's Thrift's buddy, right?
Yeah.
Michael Bublé. But I tell you what, he does it just like Frank Sinatra, huh?
Oh, yeah. Michael Bublé, who he is just smooth and just, oh, man. I tell you, it gets you in the mood. And when I think of Christmas, I think of Michael Bublé and those Christmas specials.
So when we talk about Christmas music, Christmas carols, do you have a certain genre of Christmas music that's your go-to, Richard?
Oh, yeah. Christmas in the Hollis, Run DMC. You know, I'm a big hip-hop guy. What about the Dog Pound? Santa Claus Goes to the Ghetto with Snoop Dogg and Daz and Corrupt.
So I hear you talking, but I don't think it's loaded in the computer.
Oh man, I don't know if we've got that one, but I think we got to load Christmas in the Hollis in the computer.
Absolutely. Hey man, listen, I tell you, we talked about the awards luncheon on Thursday, but I just want to paint the picture once again, and thank you so much to my team, my Sports Visions awards team, ceremony team. We had music over there we got everything started about 11:10 or so, because again, 11:30 is when we want to start the program, and which we did. And I think we did an incredible job with all the awards, all the things that we had in the lineup. We packed it tight, man. And of course, we started at 11:30 and we were done at just about 5 after 1 o'clock. So it really, really, really went well. And again, the precision, thanks to Thrift, as well as, Danita Gibson Lloyd, who was our mistress of ceremony. She was very, very prompt, and she was able to be that cop and that control that traffic, as you will, and making sure that we were on and off in our just due times. But again, Cash Flow set the mood with his great abilities on the ones and twos, and some tremendous, Richard, and I got to get your opinion when you're talking about Tony Parkman and Maria Verdale. These are two local artists who are just outstanding. And, I understand that, when sports, sometimes you see athletes that you wonder how in the world did they not get to college, or how did they not go pro? These two right here, and they're accomplished in their own right.
Oh yeah.
But these are two blockbuster. I mean, they could wake up in the morning out of the bed and sing. It's nothing phony about them. No machines. No aids. These guys, this man and this woman, were outstanding.
Yeah, you could add them to the list of outstanding singers that come out of the Fountain City, like Ma Rainey, like the runner-up from American Idol. But yeah, they were outstanding. I mean, I hope that there's like maybe a talent agency or a producer can get them a record deal.
Man, let me tell you something. Like I said, these two have been around, and they have both had their levels of success. But I'm just glad that we were able to add them too. And again, those are the kinds of things. Those are the little small things that go into making something great. A couple of local artists that can add a little atmosphere to an occasion like that. It's the Christmas season, man. For Christ's sakes, we're only a little ways away from Christmas, and it was just appropriate. It was appropriate to do so. And again, although Christmas is on December 25th, it was Christmas on December the 11th for a lot of those athletes and coaches.
Yeah, and just the decorations, and then the felt like we had a holiday meal too. So it got people into the Christmas spirit, just to hear Christmas songs and just to see the decorations. And I'm already just excited about Christmas, but I know that the athletes and the coaches were just excited that they're getting ready for the holidays. And I know that these kids are just like, man, we can't wait to go on Christmas break. I mean, we still got one more week of school.
I want you to think about something, Richard, because I'm going to ask you this question. What intrigued you most about the luncheon? Although the whole entire program was outstanding, if I might say so myself. But, I had some things that I really, really, really appreciated. The fact that those flag football teams that were there represented the Pacelli girls as well as the Central girls. I mean, again, I know the boys were dominant with football, but those young ladies, they were beautiful. They came up, they were, emotional. They were happy. It was something that I was just proud that we were able to honor them on that platform, on that stage in front of 300-400 people that were there on Thursday.
Absolutely. With flag football growing in this state, but also in Alabama as well, it was great that we shine the light on these flag football players. And I love seeing when the entire team will come up to accept an award. That's just a great feeling. And then they know how important this is for them to be there in attendance. The entire team for both teams it meant a lot to them, and I know it really means a lot to us that we're able to shine the light on these champions.
Shine the light indeed. And I tell you what, the food was extraordinary. I mean, obviously it's always great. They do a tremendous job at St. Luke, but they had grilled chicken, fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, green beans, an assortment of vegetables, salads. I mean, it was what was your favorite?
My go-to is that mac and cheese. Oh, man, I remember it last year. It is so good, just the way it's prepared. Obviously, I'm a salad guy, too. I mean, they had the green beans as well. I mean, you got your dinner roll, but, the chicken was great. The dessert was really great. They had, like, red velvet cake. They had some chocolate cake. Oh, man, I had a great time just devouring that food. And I know that during that lunch, and, I was very shocked. I mean, it was a pretty long line for the lunch, but it seemed like there was a lot more tables this year than previous years. I mean, it was well attended, and of course, Georgia Alabama Sports Live we had our own table. I felt honored that we actually had our own table. That was really cool. But yeah, what a great time! I was so glad that I was a part of it once again.
Well, you should have had your own table. Obviously, it is my event, and again, I think you guys have done an incredible job. And obviously, with you and Thrift both being teammates here at Sportsvisions, it just makes sense. It's just the honorable thing to do. And again, you guys have so much in common with regards to representing the broadcasting and all the streaming that goes on. It's amazing when you talk about the atmosphere of that room. And again, it was just beautifully done. I want to give another shout out to, of course, Courtney Morgan, the University of Alabama's football team general manager. He was extraordinary, and I think we have Thrift with us now. But let's go ahead and let's get him on.
I believe we do.
Good morning. How are you, Thrift?
Good morning, DJ. Richard, thank y'all so much. Sorry about that, guys. I'm talking about long day yesterday. But we got a long week this week, and great morning, Sportsvisions. And I just heard you, DJ, about Courtney Morgan. I was so impressed. I've gotten so much great feedback from the Sportsvisions Awards luncheon. It was the biggest thing going in our area for the last couple of days, and so glad I got to be a part of it.
Absolutely. And again, I thank the team. And again, when teamwork makes the dream work. You've been around me long enough to know and understand that I don't think I know all things in the universe, because again, you take advantage of an opportunity to bring on smart, intelligent young people and let them do their thing. And again, that's how it works out. You were sensational as always. And Miss Danita, as the mistress of ceremony, she made sure that we got in and out of there in the appropriate times. But Thrift, again, let's just, as we reflect back, Richard and I were talking about the food. We're talking about the kids. We've made announcements on all the specialty awards winners. But from you standing up there, looking out into that audience, and again on the front row of probably the front row with probably 100 and 125 or so of those young student athletes, when you looked into their eyes, I mean, I know I did. They were just glistening, and they were just so attentive, and they were prideful that they were there and being honored.
They took a lot of pride, DJ, and I don't know if you noticed it either. It seemed like this was the most well-dressed we had the students, DJ. They took pride in that. You know, some of the things that we keep talking about is like some guys will wear just a collared shirt or blue jeans. I didn't get any vibe like that. I may have misremembered, but most of the guys and men and women I saw, especially the boys, were dressed to the T. The flag football team looked beautiful. That was my biggest takeaway, is that these people, like you talked about, and these kids cared about the award. They looked forward to being at the awards. The coaches look forward to being at the award. It's a who's who. It's like when you're going to the Oscars, everybody's excited, red carpet. That's what Sportsvisions is for all the different sports and football. It's the Oscars, and that's exactly how people treated it. And it went so well. Good job by Greg. Obviously, DJ Cashflow. And what can you say about Miss Danita? She just keeps that thing moving. Love her and love that she got to be a part of it. What a time. And obviously, Richard did a great job coming in and being able to help with the awards. But again, my biggest takeaway was how well dressed and how much the kids cared about being there.
Thrift, what was your takeaway from the guest speaker, Courtney Morgan?
Couple things. I really enjoyed Courtney. I thought DJ asked some really great questions. The only thing I wish he would have done, and everything else was so informative. To be honest with you, John Parker Wilson, I don't know if DJ, you may ask me this later, so I don't want to get too much into it, but the final thing that happened at that awards luncheon was the most valuable piece of information these kids are going to get all year long. There's no doubt about it. The only thing I loved about Courtney was that he kind of explained what they're looking for in recruits. But DJ asked him several questions that I wish he would have expounded upon just a little bit more when DJ was talking about walking with your head up, looking people straight in the eye, caring about what you do. You know, sometimes Courtney says, well, we don't really care about how they dress. Well, you do care about how they dress, but I get what he was doing too. He was also showing kids like, hey, if you're good enough, we'll get you the dress part. We'll fix that for you. But all in all, it was great. Really thoroughly loved hearing Courtney. And I love how DJ was trying to push the questions that were needed for those kids to hear.
Absolutely, Thrift. And I know you and I talk and have been talking for years about, those situations. And again, being exposed and having a guy with the credentials as the general manager of the University of Alabama, Courtney was, I mean, it was so impactful as we've had. Jeremiah Castile last year was sensational. The former All-American, the former NFL player, of course. But and now he's a pastor. But just talking directly to the kids, I do know this: it's a difference when you have a head football coach and when you have a former athlete who is a part of the organization. I think that the football coaches, in my mind, and this is just my humble opinion, Thrift, and I'm sure you have yours. The coaches feel like they have to be buttoned up and they have to be careful of what they say. I mean, it's almost coach speak. They come in and they, and it's different. And when these other guys like, Courtney this year and Jeremiah last year, they can come off the cuff. They can come off and say what they want to say.
100%. And I think that's a point, DJ. And I think you may hit something on the head. It's basically they're speaking for the coaches without the coaches have to deal with the backlash of saying something that is maybe controversial. And that's what I thoroughly enjoyed hearing from Courtney. He, as a former athlete that played at Michigan, he knows what they do to get to the highest level. He's been a recruiter. There was nothing in his information that wasn't extremely important, especially for a lot of these young guys that are trying to sign to go to the next level. We have several Division I prospects and guys that have already either committed, signed, and ready to rock and roll, man. So I think it was awesome to have Courtney on. I love the fact that he held no bars. He was keeping it real and transparent with them and made for a really good luncheon.
One of the other, segments in the awards luncheon, and again, I'm amazed that we were able to cover so much ground and get so many things done in just an hour and a half. But my team, my financial literacy team that came, of course, on behalf of Morgan Stanley Sports and Entertainment. John Parker Wilson led the way, and of course, they were outstanding. Again, I thought that was informative, that was educational, not just to the kids and the parents, but to the coaches as well.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I'm glad you brought that up because I'm going to be honest with you. I was, again, taken away by John Parker and his people from Morgan Stanley who were giving the kids, hey, this is what you should look for in NIL. Hey, and I think this was the biggest thing. Just because you get a bunch of money, the government's got to get their portion. And I think people forget that. They get $5 million or $2 million. They think that, oh, I'm just going to spend this $2 million right now. No, man, you have to put off a couple $100,000 to the side for taxes. And I don't think kids kind of grasp that concept until when they spend all their money. And then when it comes time the next year to pay for taxes, they don't have anything. So I thought that was really good information. But stuff like that, we've had the Finley firm on. This is more than just celebrating the kids and giving them awards. This is an opportunity. You have their attention, DJ, for about an hour and a half. And honestly, kids, short attention span, and they're moving and grooving, and so are the parents. And the fact that we were able to do that, and that they were all, I looked at everybody in the front row. Everybody was paying attention. I know that we accomplished what we needed to. Yes, it was also giving them awards, but that information that John Parker Wilson and Courtney Morgan gave them, even more valuable than that trophy.
Angela Strange won the Sportsvisions Community Service Award, and we won it last year, Thrift, at Georgia Alabama Sports Live. How big of a deal is this for this award? Obviously, going above and beyond what Angela's done this year. I know that you could allude to basically just going above and beyond, just serving the community and really just shining the light on these student athletes.
Yeah, she does an amazing job. Yeah, DJ talks about the Community Service Award winners and people that have given back. You know, we were able to surprise DJ a few years ago, and it was awesome to do. DJ then turned around and says, all right, well, if you're going to do that, I'm going to do it right back to you. And then Miss Angela, it fitting that it's all about the kids with her, DJ, is that the fact that we were trying to give her an award, and she says, I'm out. All right, I did my job. I did everything I was supposed to do. I don't need any pats on the back. And that is the epitome.
Yes.
I mean, that is the part right there that shows you why she was picked for that community service award, because it's about the kids. It's about the work that DJ and Dale have been doing for 20 years, and she wanted to be a part of it. And I'm glad we got to celebrate her.
Well, Thrift, I tell you what, we can talk about this till the cows come home, and we certainly will be back. You'll be back in the studios tomorrow. But right now, you're on assignment. And again, you got a Harris County flag football team that has a ball game in a couple of hours.
Yes, sir. So first things first, man, I had an amazing time in Chicago. I want to wish Natalie a happy late birthday. It was on Saturday. Happy birthday.
No, you're ruining it for her. Don't do it. Don't sing.
I know. She's like, stop, please. But we had fun. Got to see her family. What an amazing time. My first time ever being in Chicago. And so I'm glad I got to be able to do that. But because of the weather, and DJ, it's cold here.
Yes.
It's funny. We bring the cold weather with us. Up there, it was -2 degrees yesterday.
Wow.
Never been in negative weather before, but it was freezing. And then we come back, and it's 15 degrees here. So it's like we can't escape the cold. But with that being said, because of the delay in flight and everything else, we didn't get back home till late. So I got up late, and now I am having to hurry and rock and roll because guess what? The Harris County flag football team are playing for a state championship at 11 o'clock. Mercedes-Benz. You can watch it on GPB. Washington County. Madeline Cricket Cawley. That's all I got to say. Madeline Cricket Cawley. She's going to have 100 touchdowns before the end of the season. Not career. Season, DJ. 100 passes. Harris County's been the most dominant team all year long. They've been the most consistent team. They got 3 losses. That's because those 3 losses are to higher classification programs that are also playing in the state championship. And the only other loss within their classification was to Heard County, and they lost that by 1 in overtime at Heard County. Since then, they have already beat them in their region championship. 11 o'clock, we'll be doing live pregame about 10:45. We'll give you up-to-date information. Don't snooze and don't forget about it because these games end in about an hour. So by 12 o'clock, we'll know who's going to be the state champion. But cannot wait, DJ, and then can't wait tomorrow. Me, you, Richard, everybody's going to be in attendance. We're cheering on the Carver Tigers. But We can't forget about those Lady Tigers from Harris County. Rick Beach, shout out to him. Kudzu, they're already there, and I can't wait to be in the bins. And hopefully we got 2 state champions by the end of this week.
By the way, I mentioned it to Richard, but now you're the guy, obviously. How about, can we mic up, Rick Beach? Because, that'd be interesting.
I think you're right about that, and that's something that we were talking about. Only problem is Rick Beach says he likes to let things fly. He's not a broadcaster at that point. He's a coach.
Well, I just want to hear him cussing.
I know, I do too. And listen, I was there last week at the quarterfinals. Beach, he got his headset on. He moves that sideline like he's Kirby Smart now. Defensive coordinator. He helps out with the defense.
Oh, my goodness. My goodness.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Hey, guys. Hey, look, Dick, I know you got to get out of here, but I can't let you go without, of course, talking about the Carver Tigers here in a bit.
Yeah, man. Carver tomorrow, trying to make this city proud. I am putting this disclaimer out, and I will do it again tomorrow, DJ. Carver fans, we know you're going to be there. It's time for everyone in Columbus to step up. And I'm hoping everyone hears the rallying call. This is Columbus, Tri-City versus everyone. We have been pushing this, and it's both sides of the fence, DJ.
Yeah.
You got to be welcoming to new fans, and fans got to be welcoming to want to go in there. So it's got to be both sides. You got to have the door open to come and cheer for Carver, and then they got to show up to want to go cheer for Carver. So let's all work together for one purpose, Jarvis Jones and those kids, and I can't wait to be there.
Thrift, I know you got to get on the road, big guy, but if you're not already. But, hey, man, good luck today, and definitely we look forward to seeing you in the morning.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, DJ. Thank you, Richard.
Thanks, Thrift. That's Thrift on assignment, of course, getting it done, man, and I love it. I love it. And, Richard, you guys, you did how many games, football games last year?
Oh, man.
I mean,
we had to do at least it's got to be at least 60 or 70. I don't know.
It's through the number 90 out there. I don't know if that was the whole total other sports
maybe
as well.
Total. If you look at there's 12 weeks. There were some weeks where we did 4 games.
Okay.
There were some Thursday night games we did.
Right.
It's got to be in the 60s, 70s.
Yeah. That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. But as we say all the time, is that who would have thunk that high school football players could have their games covered like ESPN, or very much like I said, like, not exactly like, but kind of similar. I mean, with streaming and interviews and highlights, unbelievable replay. This was incredible. Now, in 10, 15, 20 years from now, you'll have this tape available, this streaming service is available. You can go to YouTube, you can go to Facebook, or whatever, the social media phenomenon will be at that time, and be able to look at these old clips.
Yeah, I got excited when I was playing Little League, and my parents would break out the video camera and record me. And this is great when you get in the limelight and these student athletes are featured on a streaming service. I mean, it doesn't get any bigger than that. I know that especially in this area, and I know that we are glad that we are able to live stream these games because these student athletes deserve it.
By the way, speaking of live stream, and we've been talking about the awards luncheon. It's going to be, you can go to Georgia, Alabama Sports Live or Sportsvisions right now, Sportsvisions page right now, and watch it in its entirety.
Absolutely. And we appreciate the fact that we were able to get that live streamed. I know I had to duck out there early because I had to pick up my daughter from Atlanta, but I was able to catch the tail end of the Sportsvisions Awards luncheon and got a chance to hear John Parker Wilson. I know that it was great that it was able to be available for live streaming. For anybody that had to leave early or anybody that couldn't make it or running late, they could catch the whole thing in its entirety.
All right, let's go ahead and take a break. You are watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you are listening to WLTC HD2 Sportsvisions 921. We are your hometown sports guys.
Yeah. I've been moving calm, don't start no trouble.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for making us your home for local, regional, national sports talk in the Chattahoochee Valley. This is Sportsvisions 92.1.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight guaranteed. Early bird special only $59.99. Seminars Monday, January 19th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites at Northlake in Columbus. Weight loss seminar starts at 5:30 p.m. with registration at 5 p.m. Stop smoking seminar starts at 8 p.m. with registration at 7:30 p.m.
Christmas is just around the corner, and if you still have gifts to buy, the best place to do that is Macy's Great Gift Sale. Get amazing deals on last-minute gifts like fine jewelry and fragrance sets, boxed and ready to give. And everything from designer bags to Nespresso coffee makers at 30 to 60% off. Plus, your Macy's is the most festive place this holiday. So come in and find everything left on your list all in one place. The Great Gift Sale is happening now at Macy's. Savings off select prices. Exclusions apply.
Ulta Beauty's big holiday beauty sale is back with up to 50% off must-have gifts. Shop irresistible deals like the Shark Beauty Flex Style and Benefit Cosmetics travel size mascaras. With new offers weekly, same-day pickup or delivery, and our trusted associates, we make holiday shopping effortless. Head into Ulta Beauty today. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
Hey, I'm Steffi. You may know me from your social feed. I go big for the holidays, so I'm going to Famous Footwear because the best gifts are giving famous. My friends and family are going to love all these styles from Nike, Adidas, Crocs, New Balance, Skechers, and more. With over 800 stores, you're never far from the perfect gift. So make your list and make it famous. Come in today for buy one pair, get one half off at your local Famous Footwear or famous.com. Some exclusions apply.
At the YMCA, finding your why starts by making an impact together, touching lives for the better. It can be the gift of time or treasure, supporting a community through talent without measure. Here, compassion fuels commitment, finding fulfillment through enrichment, serving and improving. What a way to live, and what a gift it is to give. Find your why and get involved today at ymca.org for a better us.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by the GHSA and the Georgia Athletic Directors Association.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Veterans, do you wear glasses or use hearing aids? VA Healthcare may cover both of those for you at no or low cost. You may even be eligible for free dental care at one of VA's more than 200 dental clinics. Sign up at va.gov, call 1-800-MyVA411, or visit your nearest VA medical center.
My name is Corporal Bradley Joseph Seitz.
Jerry Reed.
Kate Weber.
These are real veterans facing a real challenge.
I have PTSD.
And I have PTSD.
I have PTSD.
Post-traumatic stress disorder can happen to anyone.
I was still in a war zone in my mind.
But treatment can turn your life around.
Treatment has really saved my life.
To learn about PTSD and how treatment can help you, call your local VA medical center or visit ptsd.va.gov.
Serving in Afghanistan, I was shot in the head by sniper fire. I was given a 5% chance to live. I'm Adam Alexander, and I'm a veteran. Today, I visit classrooms and share my story. I tell kids that with a little help and a lot of work, that you can overcome any challenge.
DAV helps veterans like Adam get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year.
My victory is being there for the next generation.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
WLTC HD2 Casita and W221DP Columbus. You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1. The only live and local sports morning show. It's the Sports Visions Morning Show with Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Famer DJ Jones and Rich Behringer on Sports Visions 92.1.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer, as well as Richard Holdridge. Thrift joined us here. He's on assignment, but not in the studio, but he was able to get to us and gave us all his instructions, his marching orders with regards to his responsibilities. Richard, thank you for pulling that up, man. You said you were a big fan of that hip-hop Christmas songs, huh?
Run DMC, Christmas in Hollis. Oh, man, it's a classic. And I know I gotta come up with that one with the with the dog pound. But yeah, I love classic hip hop from the late 80s, early 90s. Those are my jams.
Big shout out to Tim Turner, our, of course, HBCU college football extraordinaire. He's our insider. And we're talking about the Celebration Bowl. And again, while we're talking about it, let's go ahead and bring him up. This guy, Nubyjas Wilborn, thank you for joining us this morning. How are you?
Man, I'm doing well, man. By the way, I love y'all mentioning that Celebration Bowl. I decided
before hold on. I want to make sure before I'm really excited that it was a Black College National Championship, but listening to Tim and judging by the attendance, 20,000, only 20,000 in Chocolate City. Now I'm going to throw it back at you now because I know that you can come with it.
Mm-hmm.
What's well, I mean, so again, I mean, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. I'm happy.
I have a lot of different thoughts on this, and it's interesting because a good buddy of mine, Jason Jones for The Athletic, wrote a really interesting story about the game, this current iteration of it.
Mm-hmm.
This was celebrating its 10th year of the Celebration Bowl as we know it. As we also know, these bowl games are really made for TV programming more than they are about the city.
Okay.
I do think the city and the bowl game can do better about putting it together. But also keep in mind, I mean, these teams find out like a week before the game. For instance, there was a bowl game on Saturday as well, the Bucked Up Bowl, as I carefully pronounce that, if you will. We don't want to get into FCC violations. Was what University of Washington played in the bowl game in LA, and it maybe had like 4,000 fans because again, the people found out 6 days ahead. What I would like to see the Celebration Bowl become, what I think it's trying to become. And by the way, even at 20,000, keep in mind, I bet you that's going to be more than at least half of the bowl games this year in attendance.
But we're talking Chocolate City. We're talking HBCU National Championship. I'm not giving them that pass because, again, Atlanta, prides themselves on being the Chocolate City. And, of course, we got all those HBCUs in Atlanta. You're being made way too kind.
Well, I mean, but I think we have to give all context. I think we have to give each side of it. I also think that we as a collective, as African-American people, and by the way, keep in mind, one thing that I learned from doing some research on this, do you know 70% of the audience that watches the game on TV are white Americans?
I can believe that.
I mean, because it's on ABC, ESPN.
Yes.
And by the way, I do think we shouldn't discount how big of a deal that is. I would love to see what the ratings were because they ended up being a very riveting bowl game. Chinnis Berry, the South Carolina State coach, and Tremaine, the
Prairie View.
Forgive me, had a lot of different things at one time, but the Prairie View coach, I mean, those brothers looked intense, man. You could see their eye contact with each other while they're calling plays. I think Tremaine, who is a big talker, walk heavy, carry a big stick. That is his mentality, that is his way of going. I think he tried to run a couple plays there to maybe try to stick it to South Carolina State where they're up 21-0. That ended up costing them in that game. That was a riveting ball game. I mean, was it the best played game? No, but it was riveting. It was engaging. The fans who were there seemed engaged. I like the way ESPN did it. What I do hope comes from this is that we as a collective, as Black people and people who support Black people, we treat it like, hey, we know this game is happening every year. For me, this Celebration Bowl is appointment viewing. One, because, hey, I want to add to the ratings of it because I want it to exist because we used to pray for days like this. I went to Clark Atlanta, went to an HBCU. We used to pray for days like this where we could see our schools in these games. We could see the fraternities and sororities kicking it in the stands and doing it the way that we do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've not seen that many Black people in the stands at one college football broadcast throughout the season other than at the Celebration Bowl. And I watch a lot of college football, and I attend a lot of college football. There's more Black people that I see at one place at a college football game at one time other than watching other HBCU games than, what I'm saying. And put it on ESPN, it's good. The attendance can be better. I think the city of Atlanta in that bowl game and its organizers led by John Grant are going to have to continue to do work to do in the city. But I also think as people, Like, don't nobody got to tell you when the Super Bowl is.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and if I told you I have 2 tickets for you to go to the Super Bowl, I bet you figure out how to get to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
10 years this game has been out there, man. 10 years. 2015 is the first Celebration Bowl, and it's actually the only active bowl game that features teams from FCS. And the significance, obviously, is what it is. But again, I respect what you're saying. But when you talk about John Grant and cricket and all the wonderful people in and around Atlanta and what our city stands for in Atlanta, it's not like this is not a startup. So we should having 20,000 people is certainly, I mean, we can
do better. We're going to do better.
Got to do better.
We can do better. But also but that's why we need to talk about it. That's why we need to put it out there. That's why we need to start in advance, letting people know. Because for me, I go to the Celebration Bowl or I watch the Celebration Bowl. I don't care who's playing in it.
Right.
I know it exists, so I'm going to watch it. So one thing I'm going to do better of is post on my social media more about the game as it comes up when I find out who the matches are. Because that's the other thing, too. Like, nobody has to tell you when the NCAA tournament starts. You know what I'm saying? Like, this goes both ways. Every other event in Atlanta, people find out about it. And so I think the bowl could always do better. The city could always do better. But also, as African-American people, we need to do better at celebrating our brands and our colleges and deciding that the Celebration Bowl is going to be what we do. I talked to some friends of mine who were watching the game who didn't even know the game existed. Like fellow colleagues, like African-American journalism colleagues, I have in a group chat. They're like, yo, I didn't know they were done. I was like, dude, the game's been on 10 years. People did not know. People just don't know. So I think we just have to continue to work on the consciousness of building it, growing it, talking about it. That's why I made sure to live tweet the game from my Twitter perspective. That's why I made sure to talk about it. That's why I love that we're doing this, because the game needs to be discussed as much as possible so that people know it exists. And for me and my household, we're going to make the Celebration Bowl something we do every year as long as I can, as long as we will, whether you watch it on TV or go to and watch it in person, whichever one it is, whether you buy some tickets for somebody. There are ways to support this ball game, and we all need to participate.
Yeah, Nubyjas, it is a great way to kick off the bowl season. But I remember growing up as a kid, bowl season really didn't start until the weekend before Christmas. It's getting earlier and earlier. I mean, it's the same week as the Army-Navy game. Do you think that, like, I know they're trying to get these bowl games in because we got the first round of the college football playoff, and they want to hype that up. We got bowl games all week this week. Do you think that these bowl games are just too early?
Yeah, I think that's all part of it. I mean, because let's be real, the whole purpose of bowl games, again, were tourism and TV. Really, now it's become more TV than tourism. You know, I don't want to get too into the details and weeds of broadcasting, but essentially, bowl games are very easy programming to put on during the holiday season as people are off work, wrapping their gifts, doing their shopping. It's easy to put on Iowa versus South Carolina, just naming a random, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And you know it's a bowl game, you know it's somewhere sunny, you put it on as you're preparing dinner and setting out your hors d'oeuvres, right? It's easy programming. It's also easy programming for the networks. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to do a whole lot. And even now you can do these games from different locations. My point is, there's a lot. It's cheap, easy programming. But I do think it's too early. I also think they have diminished the meaning of the bowls at a lot of different levels, which really takes you back to the Celebration Bowl. All right, if you're not in the Power Four conferences and you're still playing college football, I think you have to decide what is important to you, because it is clear to the Power Fours the only thing that matters are the playoffs. I think a lot of these FCS schools and D2 and all these other places have opportunities to decide with themselves what their value is, who their audience is. As far as the other bowls, I mean, it's just going to be what it's be. They are early. It is weird. It's bowl games before the Heisman Trophy announcement. That's just strange. Not to mention how strange the Heisman Trophy was this year, but it's a whole other conversation.
And that we'll get to that in just a little bit. But I got to ask you, with regards to the bowls, you know, there are over 40 bowl games that they have now, which is way too many. The fact of the matter is, Nubyjas, you know, you got teams now, and once upon a time, you know, that was an honor to get a bowl bid. Now you got teams opting out. You got players of teams opting out because they want to, you know, they're moving on and taking their career to the next level, and they don't want to, you know, play in some little pansy bowl game. Excuse my no pun intended. But again, your take on just, you know, teams and players.
Well, it's a couple things. One, let's start, I guess, with the team. That's the bigger thing, right? Teams. All right. So we can talk about Notre Dame opting out of the bowl game. We know they did that at least partly in spite, out of being upset, and that's going to cost ESPN some money because who owns the bowls? ESPN has the majority of them because the majority of them are on their network. Even the Celebration Bowl was run by ESPN Events, which is a subsidiary of ESPN. You know, anyway, we'll go there another day. But my point is, with these bowls, these teams opting out, I have no problem because you used to want those 15 bowl practices. But let me ask y'all this. What do the 15 bowl practices mean when 30% of your roster, if not more, is not going to be there next year?
Great point.
What does the swag bag from the bowl game mean when you got $100,000 a year contract? Which, by the way, USC announced that they extended the contract to 3 of their players. And they use that language, by the way. That's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
That's again telling me it's amateur, but then they got contracts, which goes to my point. Also, if you're the player, do you want to play in the Pop-Tarts Bowl or the Longhorn Bowl for Notre Dame or, you know, Tennessee when you might transfer the next year? Do you want those 15 practices with a school where you're not going to be there the next year? For the school, do you want to run those practices when you know what you could be doing during those times? Recruiting more. Going in the portal and trying to take other guys. So those times you're spending doing those practices, feeding kids at the training table, you and your whole staff could be on the road recruiting. And so I think that's why Auburn turned down the bowl game. I think that's why a lot of these schools turn down opportunities for bowl games because, quite honestly, the bowl game money doesn't quite hit the way it used to when you got all this other money coming in. So to answer the question, bowl games are starting to fade out in importance, but remember who did this to itself? College football, because it made it all about the playoff. Also with the portal and everything else, unless you're in a situation where you know your roster is going to be retained, the majority of it, what's the purpose of those 15 practices?
Yeah, that's definitely a good point. I do want to switch gears, Nubyjas, and talk about the biggest headline that's been in the news. Like, I know it's for all the wrong reasons, but let's be honest. The firing of Sherrone Moore at Michigan, it seemed like they knew about this well before the Ohio State game. And if Michigan would beat Ohio State, and if they were going to the college football playoff, would we be having this conversation?
Probably not. And that's the thing. I don't want to hear Michigan trying to high horse on this. I mean, I guess it's not much different in some ways than would we have heard those rumors about Brian Harsin that, by the way, were unfounded. You know what I'm saying? Would we have heard those rumors about Brian Harsin if Tank Bigsby wouldn't have run out of bounds that year in the Iron Bowl? You know what I'm saying? Maybe Brian Harsin is still the Auburn football coach to this day if they win that game. Instead, it became these days of tumult where all these dramas and circumstances are happening. Schools do weird things. Boosters do weird things. Also with Sherrone Moore, it's very fascinating how the storytelling on this goes. First, she was a 20-year-old girl. Then we found out she's a 32-year-old woman. First, it was he fired her. Then we found out she has a job the whole time. Then we find out that, according to them, they've had a year's relationship, okay, that broke up on Monday after she called the police and said that he was stalking her for months, okay? My point is there are a lot of inaccuracies in storytelling. Also, I'll ask both of you, and maybe I've missed it. When Ole Miss fired Hugh Freeze, did they say it was because Hugh Freeze had a bunch of calls to hookers? When Bobby Petrino got fired at Arkansas, did Arkansas say that he was alleged to have been on a motorcycle, got in an accident with a staffer on the back of the motorcycle? Did Alabama, when it fired Mike Price, did they say that a group of boosters took him to a shoe show, if you will, and he decided to buy some things. Did they say those things, or did it just fire them?
I will say this: no, no, and no. No, the university didn't put it out.
Right.
Like Michigan is putting it out.
You're right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, now, just because you know what happened, the school typically does not say that. And typically it gets into some EEOC violations, other things, when an entity says why someone was fired, especially publicly. Now, this does not excuse Sharon Moore for dishonoring his marriage and doing these things. But people are like, well, why did he think he could get away with it? Because he was. He was. I mean, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? And again, this does not excuse Sharon's behavior. What I am talking about are institutional issues that happen at these universities and colleges across America. Name a school, show me a coach that's gotten fired, and I guarantee you there's something almost that you can always find. Also, here's another hint, too, for the audience. I'm just going to put this out here. Y'all ever see those situations where the school and the coach agree to a lowered buyout?
No, I haven't seen anything.
I mean, but it happens sometimes. It does happen where the coach agrees to a reduced buyout. Okay. Typically, it happens quietly. It may get out there, or the coach agreed to deferred payments or something of that sort, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think a coach who agrees to that deferred payment, or not even deferred payment, a coach that agrees to a reduced payment, do you think that coach cares about the citizens of that state and is like, ooh, man, you know what? Instead of me getting $25 million, I'm just going to take 10 because, man, I'm sure that state, they really need that money, and I've already made enough. Do you think the coach says that?
So help me connect the dots with your point.
My point is, typically speaking, schools find quiet ways to handle things, even when there's disgrace, because the school doesn't want disgrace upon them. So if you ever see a situation, and just think about it, you think about it, you've heard situations where the coach, they end up negotiating a different buyout, a reduced buyout. There's probably something there. Michigan, for whatever reason, decided to remove the cloak on Sharon Moore when they literally announced that they had evidence of these things. But here's the thing, man. You're not going to tell me they just got the evidence, because first they said, we found it out after investigating 3 times. Then it was, well, these boosters hired a private investigator and they found it out. Then they're like, well, no, she came and told us. First of all, well, somebody came and told us. Now it's her. What are we doing here?
Yeah. Well, Nubyjas, that means the next question is, who's going to be the next Michigan head coach? Obviously, it's a top 5 job. Here's a name I want to throw out there. It would really get under the skin of Ohio State fans. Urban Meyer.
I mean, hey, man, he's out there. I don't know if he wants this job or not. I mean, it's a tough time, because one of the reasons why you don't fire your coach right now is because all the other coaches are hired. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I saw some people joking and, talk about Kalen DeBoer, which he made his statement. Which, by the way, if you read Kalen DeBoer's statement, okay, he said he has not talked to anyone, and he is not interested in talking to anyone.
That's why you have an agent, so he can talk.
Yeah. Come on now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's all coach speak, man. They're
right. People are like, oh, well, he made a definitive statement.
Look, head coaching 1-on-1. They all learn certain things and little catchphrases to get them in and out of situations a lot easier. And again, because of all the different ups and downs of coaches and firings and hirings, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
I will tell you this: that Alabama job. I mean, you're going to have every resource that you could ever imagine to win at football. Alabama is the one school in the country. Ohio State's kind of there, but it's a different ballgame they're playing, because the Big Ten is a different thing, and you could get into how the Big Ten is in comparison. But Alabama, every year, plays for a national championship, because that is what it is for them. That is how serious they take it. That's how much they put into it, which is awesome. until you're the coach and you only win 9 games. And I say only 9 games, right? Because let's be real, as much as people don't want to hear it, as much as Bama fans don't want to admit it, if they lose to Oklahoma, which they very well could, because also there's other thing too with these bowl games. You're playing these bowl games, you got the playoff games going. It's a little bit much. But anyway, if Bama loses to Oklahoma, will they fire the coach for that? No, they're not going to fire him. But here's the thing about Bama. Like I've told people, Bama very rarely fires the coach themselves. They're like, well, how do they lose coaches? Because they quit.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
They can't take the pressure. They move on. Ask Dennis Franchione. That's why he went to Texas A&M. Ask Bill Curry. That's why he went to Kentucky. I mean, if you could go on down the line and name the names, you know, Shula got fired because it's Shula, but you get what I'm saying. Ray Perkins even left to coach the terrible Tampa Bay Bucks. Tell you, man, that's a tough job. I would not be surprised. If you have an opening at a big school, you always check with the Alabama coach. You always check to see if he's unhappy, because there's a chance that he may be unhappy. Because if they don't lose, if they don't beat Oklahoma, Kalen DeBoer's going to have a long winter. A long winter.
Nubyjas, I want to switch gears and talk about the NFL. It was a dark day in the NFL yesterday. Micah Parsons torn ACL out for the season. Patrick Mahomes torn ACL out for the season. I know the NFL is going to be fine, but the losing stars like that, it has got to be devastating for the casual NFL fan.
I mean, and this is one of the tough things about sports, man. Sports are a cruel mistress. It is very rarely that you, the athlete, go out the way you want to in the way in which you think. Every single play is a risk of injury every time. We know this. Seeing Micah Parsons, non-contact injury, that was rough. And Mahomes, on top of getting injured, the team loses that game by 3. They're eliminated from the playoffs. And, they had a 10-year run of going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'd imagine that Mahomes, a lot of those guys are tired. We'll see how he recovers. Mahomes' game does rely on athleticism, so we'll see how he bounces back from that injury. Also, he's getting up there in age. It happens quickly. Parsons, what's this, year 5, year 6 for him?
Yeah.
It happens quickly. So, tough weekend with injuries, not necessarily a lot of really good games, but this is a part of it. And, it's tough when guys like Parsons are out because he's such a dynamic player. They went through so much to get him, and now he's not going to be there when they need him the most. And they lost yesterday. So,
oh, by the way, did you hear that our Falcons won on Thursday night down in Tampa Bay?
Yeah, they did. Then B. John Robinson can't help but using a quote, because even when the Falcons win, they find a way to.
Hey, I'm glad you brought that up. Will you preface that and let the Sportsvisions Nation know what that was? Because a lot of people don't know what.
All right. So where I grew up, we would call the game he was referring to, we call them throw it up, bust them up. You know what I'm saying? You throw the ball out of football and one guy catches it, generally like a punch return, where everyone tries to tackle that one person who's running the ball.
We call it tackle the man with the ball. That's
how we call it free for all.
Free for all. Let's see, everybody's different. And where he's from, he used a phrase. I won't repeat it because it doesn't need to be, but if you go and you look at the phrase he used, people perceived it as being homophobic, which one could argue the phrase is inherently, at least partially, somewhat homophobic, because you're calling the person with the ball a name. You know what I'm saying? And saying that they deserve to be smeared because of being that. That is where it can be construed. He used a phrase that I don't think he meant it to be homophobic. He was not talking about LGBTQIA people, but he used a phrase that is antiquated. I didn't know they were still calling it that. But again,
so let me do this.
Mm-hmm.
Is the FCC going to get you in trouble or going to get us in trouble if you say what it is?
Well, okay, no, I guess you won't. Because it's just it's called Smear the Queer. That was the name of the game that he. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be. Yeah. So is that name of the phrase that he used? Again, it's a phrase referring to a certain type of backyard football game, right? It's an old phrase. Yeah. I did not know that people were still using it. Particularly, I think Bijan is maybe Is he even 25?
No.
That's what I'm saying. So I didn't know I didn't know people were still calling it that.
I've never heard of that.
Well, again, it depends on where you're from, because it's called
Tackle
something different.
the man with the ball. That's where from. What's it calling you?
Free for all.
Free for all. See, we call it throw him up, bust him up. You know what I'm saying? You throw the ball up.
Three different terms, and then they find out it gets to this smear.
Right, and there's another smear the queer, which is another. Which again, I knew what he was saying as soon as he said it.
Wow.
I knew exactly what he was saying because I have known other people to use that phrase, and I'm like, hey man, we don't use typically. Hey man, we don't call it that no more. We don't do that. Which is what I think Bijan learned. He just learned it on national TV. Again, most of this is very light stuff in the end. I'm glad we're having the conversation, but also this just goes to even when the Falcons win a game, they still find a way to embarrass themselves.
Oh yeah.
I mean, goodness gracious.
I mean, and by the way, I hope people are not picking at him. He had a very detailed and real apology. I think Bijan's a wonderful player. I do not think he holds any homophobic things. But again, we all have to grow. Unfortunately, he had a growth moment in public.
Nubyjas, about a month ago, Phillip Rivers was coaching high school football in Atlanta. And he goes out there, 44 years old, and throws a touchdown pass. I was rooting for him. I was like, man, this is incredible. This could be a movie. I know that Dennis Quaid starred in The Rookie. This is the Rookie football version.
I mean, well,
44 years old, out of ball for 5 years. Incredible.
Hey, man, I mean, okay, he is in the semifinalists for the Hall of Fame because you have to be retired from 5 years to be eligible for the Hall of Fame. You know why they do that?
No, why?
Well, one, because they assume you're not going to play anymore, which is why we can evaluate your career. Because who plays football after not playing for 5 years? Like, let's just start that. That's one of the reasons why they do it. Also, it gives time to reflect upon the person's career because they're not going to play anymore. Because who plays football after not playing football for 5 years?
I don't give a damn if you're 44, if you're 34.
Right. No, you just don't play football after not playing football for 5 years. Nobody does that. That's not how football works. You know what I'm saying? That is not what this is. He played a good enough game. I mean, I think the Colts, unfortunately, probably aren't going to make the playoffs now. Or what's the record? I mean, they're 8-6 even after the loss.
8-6.
So maybe they make it. I mean, I think they're third in their division. Again, the Texans have figured some things out. And the Jaguars have looked pretty good. Speaking of Trevor Lawrence, I mean, shout out to him, man. He is definitely, because for a minute I was kind of looking at him. He was looking real sketchy in the light, but he has had a quiet, good year this season for a team that seems to be destined to make a little bit of a run. But yeah, I mean, they did something, but also I think this speaks more to the lack of quarterback development in society, in the world. Clearly, there aren't very many good quarterbacks. And if you could call back Phillip Rivers at 44, who hadn't played in 5 years, I'm going to say something here, and you may as well do it. Why not call Colin Kaepernick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, because apparently not playing for 5 years doesn't seem to be an issue. You just call the guy off the street, and he can play an NFL game the next day.
Man, that opened up a can of worms. I mean, what does that say to the kids that, or I say the kids, but the young men that, a year, maybe.
What about the children?
Removed from the game. I mean, you go and literally get a guy that has been out of the game for 5 years and 44 years old. Man, let me tell you something.
I mean, he did not look like a guy who, like Cam Newton, for instance, when you see him, he looks like a guy, not again. Looking and doing are two different things.
Yeah, exactly.
Cam Newton looks like he could go play an NFL game next week.
That's right. That's right.
Phillip Rivers, and again, who am I to judge? I mean, but I'm also never been a pro football player. Phillip Rivers has. He did not look like a guy who was ready to go play pro football. He looked like he was a quarterback's coach when he was walking around on the sideline with his quarter zip before the game. And then somehow or another, he put himself in a football uniform and was able to perform. I remember I did a thing with Emmitt Smith about 2 years ago, and he did that Lay's commercial where they all, got back in the uniform.
Yeah.
He was like, he told me about this. He said, man, I hated doing it I didn't like how I looked in the football uniform because it wasn't how I looked in it when I was at my best. You know what I'm saying? And it's a guy who's still active. Not obviously Emmett's old, but you get what I'm saying, right?
He's Dancing with the Stars, all that, yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I would imagine Phillip Rivers had to look at himself in that uniform and not feel like he did when he was at his best. I mean, Phillip Rivers has highlights that aren't in HD, okay?
Yeah.
He was an active player, man. Yeah. I mean, he's got a biological son that's older than Riley Leonard, who's supposed to be the backup, man. What are we doing? I mean, hey, but credit to Phillip. I mean, look, it gives old dudes like me a hope that you can still do some things in this world. God bless him for trying it. I was a little nervous for his life.
Thank you. That part.
I was nervous for him. I'm just glad he got out of that game, and we have not heard anything as of, I guess, 8:30 Eastern on a Monday that he is severely injured or anything. So I'm glad he made it out of that safely. I would not be a course of recommended action, but I think it just shows where the league is. And also, again, quarterback development. There aren't enough good – clearly, there aren't enough good quarterbacks in this country right now to fill the NFL if this is what we're doing.
Nubyjas, we appreciate you, man. You just, I mean, you don't understand how powerful you are and how entertaining you are to the Sportsvisions Nation. But as always, man, I appreciate you. And hey, listen, man, I'm sure we will talk to you again. But happy holidays to you and your family.
Hey, same here, man. Love y'all, man. Thanks for having me as always.
All right, take care.
See you, Nubyjas.
All right.
That's Nubyjas. Hey, you know
that's it. Oh man,
you talk about straight no chaser.
Oh yeah, definitely one that's going to be in the archives. Oh man, I always enjoy having Nubyjas on. He can just talk about any sports topic. Nothing's out of bounds.
All right, let's go ahead and take our final break of the day. You're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you are listening to WLTC HD2 Sportsvisions 921. We are your hometown sports guys.
I said, baby, I'm a dog. I'm a dog.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for waking up with the Sportsvisions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer. Catch me at 9 a.m. every weekday morning, right here on Sportsvisions 92.1.
Good morning. I'm Olivia Yepes. Here are your top headlines for this morning. 2 students were killed and 9 others injured in a shooting at Brown University on Saturday. Rhode Island authorities say they are releasing the person of interest they detained from the shooting. 48-year-old Jonathan Demetrius Powell died in a single vehicle accident on Manchester Expressway near J.R. Allen Parkway Saturday night. Columbus police say the investigation is still ongoing. And jury deliberations are expected to resume today in the trial of Ricky Mack Morris. Morris faces 3 capital murder charges. Authorities say he set fire to a Phoenix City mobile home in June 2019, killing the elderly couple inside. From WRBL News 3, I'm Olivia Yepes. Have a great rest of your day.
Good Monday morning, off to a cold and frigid start with temperatures in the mid to low 20s under clear skies. And those temperatures are going to remain cold throughout most of the day with high temperatures only in the mid to low 40s. Again, tonight, expect those cold temperatures dropping into the mid to low 20s yet again. And we are going to be slightly warmer for your Tuesday afternoon with temperatures in the 50s. By the end of the week, we're tracking an even warmer forecast. Highs return to the 60s.
Even though I'm away at college, Kinetic Credit Union is still the best way for me to stay connected here and at home. With the Kinetic mobile app, I have control of my accounts wherever I go. I can easily transfer money between internal and external accounts, get money faster by setting up recurring transfers, and I can find the nearest ATM or branch right from my phone. Plus, I can add my Kinetic cards to my phone's digital wallet and enjoy quick, secure, contactless payments. By the way, Mom, I need some more money.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
Hi, I'm Tom Connors. Went to Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar February 6, 2019. Nothing worked before. Left there and never smoked again. Amazing. Easy, affordable, and guaranteed. A year later, with my wife, Michelle, attended Mark Patrick's weight loss seminar. She lost 18 pounds and I lost 43 in 8 weeks.
It's true. He smoked 2 packs a day and nothing worked until Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Now we're losing weight together, eating healthy, full on half the food. Crazy. Enjoying exercising. Who would have believed Mark Patrick Hypnosis this really works.
It's amazing. I can breathe again. My blood pressure went down, and I've got so much energy.
So much energy.
And look great.
Stop smoking. Lose weight now without cravings, irritability, or your money back. Early bird special only $59.99 guaranteed. Join Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar and lose the weight. Stop smoking. Feel great for only $59.99 guaranteed. Monday, January 19th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites at North Lake in Columbus. Weight loss seminars at 5:30 p.m. with registration at 5 p.m. Stop smoking seminars at 8 p.m. Learn more at markpatrickseminars.com.
Attorney advertising. Lake Swan, 4751 Best Road, College Park, Atlanta, Georgia. 921-200-7066. Paid actor dramatization. Top Dog does not mean we are the best. No guarantees of success.
I remember when Top Dog came into the game. I remember the first thing he told me. I want to take over. I want everybody to call me. If they get into an accident, the whole world, I want them to call me. Watch, I'm going to show you. Wait till somebody get into an accident. I'm fighting them bad. The whole world going up. They call me. If you get into an accident, I'm going to try to fight them. And I'm taking every type of accident. Land, water, and sea. You get into an accident, boat, call me. Get into an accident in the air, you call me. Somebody hit you, you call me. Then I'm going to promote myself. I'm going to put it on TV. I'm going to put it on the radio with this crazy voice. Had a whole world calling me. Watch, you going to see any accident. You going to see Top Dog Law.
A new exclusive offer with an eligible Bank of America Visa credit card is your opportunity to go from card holder to ticket holder for the FIFA World Cup 2026. For a limited time, when you're approved for a new customized cash rewards or unlimited cash rewards Visa credit card, you're eligible for a chance to purchase FIFA World Cup 2026 tickets. Learn more today at bfa.com/cardfwc26. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America N.A. in partnership with Visa. Terms apply. All rights reserved.
You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show, brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. Now back to DJ and Thrift on Sports Visions 92.1.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. It's a memorable Monday, and of course, we want to thank you for allowing us to help you get your day started. Hopefully, you are at school, you are at work, you are where you need to be, or if you're still laying in the bed and listening to us, thank you too. We appreciate the fact that you are listening to Sports Visions 92.1, the Sports Visions Morning Show. Hey, also, I want to give a shout out to John Parker Wilson. We've been talking about him, and because he was able to be a part of what we had with regards to our Sports Visions Awards luncheon. We also had Jason Pace, who, of course, is another integral part of the financial wealth and sports marketing and entertainment of Morgan Stanley. But those two gentlemen, they were able to do a financial literacy presentation that hit it out of the park, and I really appreciate it. For those of you who don't know who John Parker Wilson is, he's a former collegiate and professional quarterback who has currently works for the as a financial advisor for Morgan Stanley and a partner of the Hansborough Group. And John Parker began his football career at the University of Alabama. He was the starting quarterback from 2006 to 2008, and he finished his senior year with an undefeated regular season and #1 national ranking in the 2008 alongside head coach Nick Saban. And he graduated as Alabama's all-time leading career passer with yards and completions and touchdowns, and he was elected as a permanent team captain by his teammates the following year. Now, Jason Pace is executive director and financial advisor with family wealth director and global sports and entertainment director at Morgan Stanley. He currently serves as a COO, and he played football and is a graduate of the U.S. Naval Academy with a BS in systems engineering. He also obtained a master's of science in business management from Troy University, and he was named sports and entertainment director at Morgan Stanley in 2014 and has been part of the NFL Players Association Financial Advisors Program since its inception in 2002. So we had some headliners in the building. I mean, in addition to Courtney, those two gentlemen with the with team, as I call them, Team Stanley Morgan, man, what a blessing it was for us to share all of that knowledge and wisdom with our kids and coaches.
Absolutely. And they shine the light on financial literacy, which is very important, especially for these young student athletes. If they do get a hold of NIL money, just knowing what to do with your money, not trying to blow it all at once, put it in savings, put it in a CD, and really invest that money, because you never know if this could be the only paycheck that you get. And for those who don't have NIL, it was very important, especially when you're going on to get a college education, just try to find a way to just sort your finances, because it was something that all those student athletes needed to hear.
Once again, thank you to our partner, Morgan Stanley, for being a part of our program and having that presentation, that financial literacy, words of wisdom, to all of our folks that were present. Now, just want to talk a little bit, highlight some of these specialty award winners. Of course, we did award nearly 30 schools and their offensive MVP and their defensive MVP, and we talked about that earlier, but I wanted to highlight on a few awards that were near and dear to us. All of our specialty awards were, but again, thank you to Roger Beck and the Columbus Lions for stepping up and making sure that we recognized the middle school coach of the year, Coach Corey West from Rothschild.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job. Rothschild ended up going into that championship game against Aaron Cone undefeated, and they were able to take down Aaron Cone. We were on the call on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and Coach Corey West, he's done a great job just building that Rothschild program, who's just been known for just winning multiple championships at the middle school level.
Also, AFLAC Student Athlete of the Year, CJ Starr from Spencer. I tell you, man, this kid was phenomenal.
Yeah, we were talking off air. He had, a 4.2 GPA? When I was in high school, I thought you couldn't get past a 4.0, but I guess you could take AP classes, take extra credit to get that GPA above a 4.0. But congratulations to CJ, wonderful student athlete. And that's just something that you don't hear often, but it needs to be recognized more. I know that football practice takes a lot of your time, but to take the rest of that time and focus on your classes, that really speaks volumes of your character and what you are trying to do to just help your academic career.
Congratulations to CJ. Also, how about Billy McDonald up at Lynette with the Panthers, man? He was the Sportsvisions Outstanding Coach on the Rise.
Absolutely. Obviously, we know the coaching history at Lynette with Clifford Story, with Chip Siegel. Just to come in his first year to take the Lynette Panthers to the state championship, it really speaks volumes for Billy McDonald and what he's done, and really under the tutelage of new athletic director Clifford Story.
Also, Sportsvisions honored the offensive lineman of the year, Parker Pritchett from the Carver Tigers, who has a very interesting history.
Yeah, I remember calling his games when he was at Russell County. He's going to Auburn. He just a dominant offensive lineman. And really, he and the rest of the line at Carver is the reason why there's gaping holes for the three-headed monster with their running backs. And what he has done has just been fantastic, and I've enjoyed seeing Parker's career.
We made mention of our Morgan Stanley financial literacy presentation. And, of course, we have a couple of awards that we will give that we gave out. Tristan Givens from Carver. Again, it's no secret this guy is a 5-star athlete with had a lot of offers.
Yeah, and he is going to take his talents to College Station as he has signed on to play with the Texas A&M Aggies. And, there's some history with some great defensive ends that played at Texas A&M, including Myles Garrett, who might end up getting the sack record for the Cleveland Browns. And that didn't factor it in. I talked to Tristan a while back and asked him, did you pick Texas A&M because of Myles Garrett? No, he had other offers. He just wanted to go somewhere, play in the SEC. We can't wait to see him play on Saturdays. And I tell you, there's something brewing in Columbus. You've got special defensive ends that have been first-round draft picks like Michael Williams. We got TJ Parker that plays at Clemson. And you could just add Tristan Givens to that list. What a phenomenal athlete.
Also, the offensive player of the year is a Tiger of sort, but he's from the Troup County Tigers, and he's, of course, Garrison Edwards.
Yeah, we saw him play a couple of times on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. A dual threat quarterback, also a state championship baseball player for Coach Tanner Glisson. And he just led Coach Glisson's up-tempo offense. And unfortunately, they fell in the second round of the playoffs. But what Coach Glisson has built at Troup County and what Garrison Edwards has really brought to the table. I've made the joke and said he's Teo Todd 2.0, but I think that he's maybe a little bit bigger than Teo, but yeah, he's done a phenomenal job at Troup County, and we can't wait to see where he goes and plays football on Saturdays.
Did we tell everybody that he was a state champion in baseball?
In baseball, yeah, state champion in baseball for Coach Tanner Glisson. So, he got to be on the baseball team with Coach Glisson, and that's also on the gridiron with Coach Glisson.
And for the second year in a row, Sports Vision's Defensive Lineman of the Year, Tristan Lyles from Central.
Yeah, you talk about what Central has built. Tristan Lyles, another one of those phenomenal defensive players. I already mentioned TJ Parker, but, they had such a great season. They just – that side of the bracket, they ended up playing Thompson, unfortunately losing by 1 point to the eventual state champions. But, what Tristan Lyles have done is just a phenomenal year for the Red Devils.
Sports Vision's outstanding athlete, that's Jacoby Caslin and Andrew Smith. Caslin from Carver and Smith from Columbus.
Yeah, I've got an opportunity to watch both these players. First of all, Andrew Smith, a dual threat quarterback, but he also plays on the defensive end or defensive back. He was also on special teams. Columbus making the playoffs for the first time since 2018, an incredible 7-4 record. And then Jacoby Caslin, along with Popcorn Tarver and Zach Watts, was a part of that three-headed monster in the back. Is going to be playing Hayfield Charter tomorrow at the Benz. I know that he's got to be excited about that as well.
Big shout out to, of course, Sheriff Heath Taylor. The Russell County Sheriff Department, their player of the year, Bryson Riggins from Russell County, the Warriors.
Yeah, you talk about somebody that, put up 40 touchdowns last year. Yeah, his touchdowns were down a little bit because, he actually got a running game going, and Russell County had such an amazing season. They just fell short in that second round of Hueytown. But the accomplishment that Bryson Riggins has done to get Russell County to the playoffs in the second round 2 years in a row, and he may go down as one of the best Russell County quarterbacks of all time. He's one of the top quarterbacks in the state of Alabama, and he is he's signed to go play at Miles College.
What can we say about our Mercedes-Benz of Columbus Coach of the Year, Ian Headley from Brookstone?
Wow. I mean, he was really an unknown. Came from Florida. We didn't really know much about him. He takes over for a coach at Rance Gillespie, who, leading that up-tempo offense. And I've labeled him as a quarterback whisperer. And now Coach Ian Headley comes in and builds a culture, builds his own staff. And what do the Brookstone Cougars do? Well, they just happen to make it to the state championship in his first year. And just to overcome the injury to their running back and what Coach Ian Headley's done. And I love seeing his just expression when he got the award. I know that he was just feeling excited, shaking his hand. It was great for him to be honored. I know that he was just over the moon getting that award.
How about the Fountain City Classics, Calvin Smyrie Scholarship Awards, Lavasco Williams from Kendrick, and, of course, Aiden Jackson from Carver.
Yeah, Lavasco Williams averaged over 100 yards a game for Coach Mayo and the Kendrick Cherokees that were on the doorstep of the playoffs. They started 2-0, and Lavasco Williams just one of those players that really sparked that Kendrick Cherokees offense. And what can you say about Aiden Jackson? Just part of a defense that was so deep, that they just got ballers just about everywhere. He has had a fantastic year for Coach Jones, and I know that he's excited about being in the state championship tomorrow.
This is always a nice one here. The Houston Clinic Comeback Player of the Year, Tay Foreman from Beauregard.
Yeah, you don't really hear much about Beauregard, but they are a team in 5A that tries to compete. They won a state championship maybe 5 or 6 years ago, but we know the injuries are tough. But to come back from an injury and to have an impact when you come back from the injury, we really appreciate Tay Foreman and what he's done with the Beauregard Hornets.
Absolutely. And, of course, the Chick-fil-A Servant Leadership Award. And, again, I know a lot of people are talking about what guys do on offense, defense, and special teams, but this has a lot to do with the character and the leadership abilities. Jordan Waits of Opelika and Broughton Branch from Brookstone.
Yeah, and I get into the habit of talking about like their performance on the field, but these are two guys that, their performance on the field is really speaking of their character and what type of player they are, but what they're doing off the field, when their spare time, outside of practice, is really, it's telling to their character as just people. So, we're glad that we're able to acknowledge these servant leaders.
I'm really excited about watching this young man for the next several years. Sports Vision's newcomer of the year, Zach Watts from Carver.
The phenom we saw him at Aaron Cone last year. I can't remember a time where a freshman made this big of an impact at the varsity level. What can you say about Zach Watts? I mean, we were talking off air about how many touchdowns he's actually got called back. He is just an electric player that, the fact we get to see him 3 more years is just going to be incredible and well-deserving. And, he has really made an impact as a freshman.
Of course, this was an Equal Opportunities Awards ceremony. Our Sports Visions Flag Football Players of the Year, KK Jackson from Pacelli and Mariah Harrison from Central.
Yeah, you talk about the Pacelli Lady Vikings. KK Jackson came in at quarterback, and she did just a phenomenal job and got some touchdowns in that state championship against Mount DeSales, and Pacelli winning 4 straight. And as for Central, I mean, when I thought of Central last year, Garrett Griggs was just a phenomenal player. Mariah Harrison just comes in and just plugs and play. What Coach Mitchell Holt has done there, 57 straight games that they have won. They have been ranked the number 1 team in the country. It really speaks volumes to what the Central Lady Red Devils have built there, and they have just been unstoppable.
He's a Coach of the Year, and his assignment is not complete yet, but the Finley Firm 2025 Coach of the Year, Coach Jarvis Jones.
What can you say about what Coach Jarvis Jones has done? First year, bringing his own staff and trying to set a foundation that's already been laid. Carver winning a state championship. There were some players that have went on to graduate, that went on to transfer. But, what he does is he comes in and dominates. They only had really 1 close game all year. That was that 8-7 win over Sumter County. And then they go into this state championship with so much confidence, taking on a Hayfield Charter team that's already lost 4 games. But Hayfield Charter feels that they're playing with house money. But Coach Jarvis Jones has a chance to go back-to-back as Carver state champions, and also has a chance to win a state championship as a player when they went undefeated in 2007, and as a coach for the Carver Tigers, and hopefully they can get it done.
Good stuff, Richie. And I'll tell you what, a great effort by our Sports Visions Awards Luncheon team. I tell you once again, thank you so much. We were really, really excited to have them all be a part of it. And again, teamwork makes the dream work, as I like to say, Rich.
Yeah, it was a team effort. I'm glad that I got to be a part of it. My 3rd year doing it. I know that I did miss a year, but I felt like it was a huge success. A lot of well-attended people in attendance. I was honored to announce several awards, and really to be a part of this Sports Visions family. And it's just going to continue getting bigger and bigger. And another successful sports luncheon. And they do it big at the St. Luke's Ministry Center. And we want to thank the staff there. They did a great job just serving us, and the food was great.
Big shout out to our local media. I tell you what, both Jack and, of course, Tyler over at WRBL, and
Absolutely.
over at WTVM, we had, of course, Tony and Drew. Those guys were there. And again, Richard, Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and those guys, Tony and David Frost, all those guys, man.
Yeah.
It was just amazing to see so many wonderful people there. And again, I couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah, and I do want to shout out Louis Sandville, Chris Gates, and Mike Keene, as the Columbus Consolidated Government TV was there as well. And we count Chris and Louis as Georgia Alabama Sports Live. They were working there for the city, but yeah, Ricky Rogers and Mike Frost, Tony Morgan, we were all there in attendance. And oh man, what a great time! And it was great just to chop it up with the ADs and the coaches, and just to see all those familiar faces that we don't really get to see face to face during the football season, because we're up in the booth calling the games.
Absolutely. And of course, last but not least, my lovely wife and Miss Candy Lowe Jones, and she was there again, supporting me before, after, and during the award ceremony. And again, my hat's off to the entire community, all of our community partners, all of our teammates, all of our folks that came, all the awardees and coaches and administrators and parents. Man, what a day.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal day. I'm glad that it was at the St. Luke's Ministry Center. I don't know, DJ, the table, it seemed like there was more tables. The St. Luke's Ministry Center, you could fit a lot of people in there, but man, this thing just continues getting bigger and bigger, and St. Luke's Ministry Center does a phenomenal job putting it on.
Absolutely. And again, that could have a lot to do with the fact that we did have, in addition to honoring the top high school players and coaches, we brought in a superstar. He is a guy that, if you don't know him, you will know who he is. His name is Courtney Morgan. He is the general manager for the University of Alabama Crimson Tide football team. And again, today, the dynamics of just having a football coach that just matters and tends to his players and his coaches, those days are over. There's a whole nother business side to it all. And of course, when that's dealing with the NIL, that's dealing with the transfer portal, all the recruiting, it's just so much more. And that's exactly what Courtney is to Kalen DeBoer with the Alabama Crimson Tide. And I tell you what, he was able to take us backstage behind the curtains for all of that information. And we were just privileged to have his presence at the awards luncheon. Well, Richard, you hear the music. You know what that means. That's going to do it for this edition of the Sports Visions Morning Show. On behalf of Richard Holdridge, I'm DJ Jones, reminding you to keep your eye on the ball.
I need you in the morning, but I need you now. Yeah.
You've been listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. This is Sports Visions 92.1.
Time is of the essence. I try to teach you, but I need some lessons. I need to give it all. I try to live, but I can't. I don't know why you're the one. Turn me out of my mind. You don't need no other body.
The holiday season is here, but drinking and driving is no reason to cheer. That's because drunk driving is a factor in 1 out of 4 traffic deaths in Georgia. Preventing drunk driving deaths is very easy. Just hand the keys to a sober driver. Those who make the wrong decision to drink and drive may find themselves